Good evening and welcome to the Plex, ladies and gentlemen. Again, I'm Spencer Ball. He's JP Berry. We're glad to have you back here on Student Gamecock Television. And we've got a good one tonight. Your South Carolina Cock Hockey Squad will face off against the ACHA version of the Frozen Tide. Again, that's Alabama's club hockey program. But, JP, it's been a little bit rare, but recently South Carolina's had a rough stretch of form. They lost both games of their two-game series at Georgia last week. What went wrong?
Well, it was kind of a lot of little things coming together. They didn't look very assertive. They didn't get out to hot starts. The game was just kind of lulling around in like 1-0, for a lot of it. And then Georgia was able to really just kind of whip themselves back into shape in a moment's notice. And South Carolina was just a step too slow at times. And it was a tough weekend, and it was a new place. They were playing in a new arena at Georgia. So
a really nice arena. You got to give credit. The stream they had, it was really nice seeing, the boys playing a new place in Athens. But speaking of a new place, it's not necessarily a place, but a newer conference. They've been playing more ACHA opponents than ever. Last time out, it was a 5-3 home win against Boston College. They've got another one tonight. What's it going to take for them to get back into the victory column?
Well, this is something you're going from a team you're very familiar with in Georgia to someone you've never played before in the ACHA version of Alabama, or at least they haven't played in quite some time. And in the new changing landscape of club hockey, you're going to see a lot more of these teams. Of course, North Carolina, NC State, Louisville, Alabama, creating that new ACCHL league, which will be interesting to kind of track the development of. But, South Carolina played in UNC. They've played NC State. They're going out and playing different leagues more and more, testing their mettle. And you can only get better through that. So they're just going to have to be themselves and kind of show this Alabama team that's, they haven't played them in quite some time, who they are.
That's right, and again, it's all about stringing momentum together, so a win here would do great things going into that last stretch of the season. Again, that's going to do it for our little intro here. In just a few minutes, the puck's going to drop. Stick with us here on Student Gamecock Television. We'll be back in just a moment. And welcome back to the Plex. Again, I'm Spencer Ball, joined by JP Barry. JP, how's it feel to be back, man? You were here 2 weeks ago, but it's my first time of the semester, and it's nice being back. How's it feel for you?
It feels good. I mean, yeah, like you said, I was here for the BC game, but I mean, it's just you only get so many of these games, so you got to appreciate every single one.
I think you're absolutely right. Again, tonight's a special night. We didn't really mention it in our intro, but again, it's first responder night here, so a big shout out and thank you to all the first responders out there. We are about to do a ceremonial puck drop here, so we'll read you a little bit about the people being honored tonight. Again, it's South Carolina versus ACHA, Alabama, the Frozen Tide. The first firefighter being honored tonight is Josh Robinson. He's joined by John Robinson and Kamira Pillay. And the other firefighter being honored is Robert Stort, joined by Jax Jameson and Willow Stort. So I believe this is going to be the Stort family right here. So again, a big shout out to them. Just a few of the people, being honored tonight. But JP, I would say they're just an example of everyone else in the crowd, at home, of people, first responders that are just so important to our community and worldwide.
Yeah, I couldn't say it better myself. It's always fun to see these kinds of things, and it means a lot, to underserved, individuals who go and become first responders, and they become these shining beacons in their community, and it's really fun to see. And so, I just love stuff like this.
Yeah,
It makes your heart happy.
It sure does, and it's great that Cock Hockey is doing a service to them. It's just a small thing to try and pay them back. If you're interested, the game-worn jerseys from tonight will be auctioned later on. Similar to last year, they have honor, sacrifice, valor, things like that on the back. So again, just a very cool act. We are going to get into the starters before we have our national anthem here. JP, will you tell us about the visiting Frozen Tide?
I will indeed. They sit at 6-15-4 on the year in the ACHA. Head coach Mike Fairbanks, assistant coach Garrett Dumont, and GM Will Zeke. Their starters, of course, you got in net Bryce Dunnigan, the sophomore goaltender from Eden Prairie, Minnesota. He's got a 1-4-0 record on the year with a 3.78 goals allowed average, but a save percentage well over 900, which is very nice to see. Also starting, you have Luke Ellis, number 92, number 22, Chris Molenpaw from Lake Forest, Illinois, and Tyler Zint for your forwards, as well as Baz Shuley starting as well. So, it's an Alabama team that don't score the puck very much. They only scored 40-something goals on the season as a whole. There's not really many people with more than 5 goals. But, they have a lot of guys with some points. So it's really kind of a by-committee approach.
And, we talked to their coach earlier, and they said they're, waiting for kind of some guys to establish themselves as leaders moving forward and focal points to this team. And, that's all you can ask for. And for the home team, Cock Hockey starting in net, you guessed it, it's Tyler Tomoyan. He's been great on the year, 7-2-2. The save percentage of .905. The blue line, the defense right in front of him, is going to be led by Andrew Henderson, and he is joined by senior Ronan Mulcairn. And up front, it's going to be Enzo Finelli and Colin Reed on the wings. And the center to bring it all together is John Riggins. About to have the national anthem here, so as everyone else rises, we're going to take a moment. We'll be right back. And we're back, of course, as the anthem concludes. No better time for some hockey than right now, isn't it?
No, I wouldn't have picked a better time myself. Of course, it's a nice Friday night in Irmo, a standing room only crowd here at the Plex for another great.
Been made common.
Absolutely.
I feel like we talk about it every time we come up here. The crowd, that fills these walls it's very special. Feels like a very tight-knit community. You see a lot of the same people week in and week out, and I think, as important as the players on the ice are for this club, I think you can give the fans a lot of credit as well. JP, just moments away from puck drop. What's your keys to the game for South Carolina to get back to their normal form? Again, 2 losses to Georgia is no thing to scoff at. Is Georgia, JP, they lead this College Hockey South, am I right?
Absolutely, they do. Them and Tennessee have really been the class of it so far this year. Tampa hasn't played too many games, but, it's really been the Ice Dogs. And so South Carolina just trying to get to tournament time. This is a team that knows how to win in a one-and-done type scenario. So you can never quite count them out.
And, JP, I kind of just thought about this, as we do have puck drop right at center ice. Alabama is going to control it right away, and they'll just send it down behind the boards. Drew Henderson rallies to get it. He gets it over to Colin Reed. Between his legs, it's Riggins. The Gamecocks have a break early with Finelli, but he's going to slow it down, and Alabama regains control of the puck. I was going to say, we talked about the Boston Celtics earlier on our talk show, Ball Don't Lie, on SGTV. Talked about how they're having a bit of a championship slump, but, still very much in the hunt of things, and that's a team you trust come postseason time. Is it the same thing for South Carolina?
Absolutely. I don't know if there's a better combination or,
Henderson has it. There's the first quick little double save there from Dunnigan. Of course, as soon as we start talking about it, Dunnigan almost just gives the puck away right in front of his net. South Carolina has it. There's Riggins. Goes around net. South Carolina does eventually lose the puck, try to keep it in, but they'll just look to chip forward. Unsuccessful as Alabama goes for a line change, but JP, what are your thoughts on that?
I don't think there's a better comparison out there right now. I mean, of course, you have the Ice Dogs who've been kind of a general power, but Tennessee has having one of their best years in a very long time. But, Cocky, they're still there, and they're lurking, and they're ready to pounce whenever.
Absolutely. A great play there to chip it off the boards and all the way down to a South Carolina skater. Get off a quick little line change. Alabama, though, great job to clear it. Minute and a half in, and nothing too notable so far, though. It's going to be important for the Tide to get Dunnigan to settle in a little bit, JP.
That's true. I mean, he's a goalie that has a good save percentage, but he's let in a lot of goals. I think that says a lot about the defense in front of him, the amount of shots he's seeing, which is tough. But, one thing early on, these alternate uniforms are great, but the numbers are kind of hard to read for an announcer.
Yeah, we're of course, we'll do our best. I feel like we're both pretty comfortable with this Gamecock squad, so do our best to get you the names when we can. That's Ben Riccitelli, one of the more senior defensemen on this team. He hits it up and out of play, so we'll have another face-off on this Alabama end. 18:23 left on your clock. And again, as you mentioned, Dunnigan, the amount of volume he's seen in just 5 starts, seen over 200 shot attempts. Alabama's able to win the face-off there. Unable to escape their zone just yet is South Carolina. Hot in pursuit, it's Marco Pineda. 2 skaters go down. South Carolina still has it. There's Riccitelli. South Carolina shot, glove there by Dunnigan. I was going to say they're looking to set up, but instead just a turn and a little wrister there. I believe that was Carson Scove.
I mean, these two teams, they hammer the puck on net, and I think what's big for Alabama, they've allowed so many shot attempts this season in some of their games. A lot of lopsided final scores in favor of their opponents. They just need to get one early, or at least get the puck out of their own end, because you don't want to get in that feeling of here we go again.
Absolutely, you don't want to feel trapped. And for Alabama, if you can start quick, we've seen South Carolina sometimes show up a little lackadaisical to start games. So it could be a good time to pounce. It's been all South Carolina so far. There's Jake Pushkar. He skates it in, gets it to his left. Back out, a good block there from a Frozen Tide skater. They've got a 3-on-1 rush here, but the puck just out of reach. They still have it right face-off circle. Pad save covered up by Tomoyan. A great job there is kind of what we were talking about, almost a bad clearance leads right to an Alabama shot.
Yep, South Carolina turnover in their own zone, which has led to many early opportunistic goals, in the Tampa games, in the Georgia series. It's been tough for South Carolina. They just got to play a full 60 minutes.
That is the best way to win hockey games, JP. Score goals and, stay locked in for all 60. And it's a lot easier saying it up here as South Carolina skater gets shoved down right in front. The officials, nothing doing. So they'll skate it into the Bama zone again. That's Connor Berman. Nick Kay with it now. He puts it on net. It's left out in front, but a deflection keeps it away from Dunnigan, excuse me. Bama loses it against the board. South Carolina with it right in front of net. Look for a deflection. Falls to Marvin. He shoots. Dunnigan able to cover it up there. And JP, from the first 3 minutes and change of this one, it looks like he's going to be under fire.
Yeah, it's going to be a long night of solace for Dunnigan if they can't, clear the puck. And the thing is that South Carolina is getting some pretty clear shooting lanes. So, Alabama skaters need to make things tougher for South Carolina.
And, one thing I mentioned just a moment ago, in 5 starts, Dunnigan has seen 206 shots. In 11 starts, Tomoyan has seen 306 shots. So only 100 more in 6 more games for the goaltender for South Carolina. So Dunnigan, he's clearly used to it, but probably not his favorite. Nick Kay wins it back in the Alabama zone. He shoots. It takes a deflection. Right back to him. Off the boards. Nice behind-the-back pass. It will leak through the zone. They'll have to race back to get it. It's Nate Byron in pursuit for the Frozen Tide. Nice move there from Garrett Albers to try and poke that one into the zone. I'll just send it around the board. South Carolina goes for a change. Dunnigan's got to be careful. That's the second time he's come out of net to use his stick. And, JP, it looks like he's about to give it up 2 times now.
Yeah, and then that one is rifled into the bench. So Alabama playing.
You can see Sir Wall wiping his face, wiping the sweat off his face there. That one almost, took our coach's head off there. I said, goodness. I said, he doesn't need a haircut with that sweet flow, JP.
No.
Bama wins the face-off here. We are officially 4 minutes in, 1/5 of the way through this first period. South Carolina with it. That's Winkleblack. Gets it back to Albers. He's got Ian Hoover behind him on the blue line. And the Frozen Tide are able to clear, but, JP, it seems like they clear for a moment, and then South Carolina collects themselves and re-enters the next attack. Josh Wilkins with it, whiffs on the puck. He's just going to launch it down to Dunnigan. Wasn't sure if he was going to cover up as Alabama, again, chips it out of their own zone. Seemingly not for long, though. South Carolina going to look to just stall some time before they re-enter. Bama applying some pressure, though. They actually get a piece of the puck right out in front of Tomoyan. He does a good job of staying active and getting the stick to the puck there. Bama still with it in the zone. It's Wilcoxon. It's fired on in front of net. That's Ellis. He's flattened, and Tomoyan knocks it behind. There's Ian Hoover. He's going to try and clear it. Wilcoxon intercepts. They try and enter the zone. He's taken down. And now the Gamecocks are off and skating. He's got 2 shot. Stick save, Dunnigan. South Carolina's still with it. Here's Drew Henderson. He shoots. Looks for a deflection in front of goal. Nothing doing. South Carolina still with it. Nice move there. It looks to be Riggins. He gets it to his left. Looks for the pass back. Still waiting. Comes out to Henderson. Riggins has it in that left face-off circle. You can just see how agile he is with the puck at his stick. Facing the pursuit, just dancing with it over in the corner. Eventually loses it, and Bama clears. JP, South Carolina, again, almost caught lacking in their own defensive end.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, a very tough look is there. They once again get into the South Carolina zone. But Alabama and both Alabama.
Yeah, that's going to be a penalty there. You saw that one clear as day.
Yeah.
It's going to be Max Sextro headed straight to the box. Just had to see that one coming, and For some reason, Colin Reed gave him a little hip check, and he responded with a stick to his skates there. And JP, I don't think you're allowed to do that one.
No, and that's why South Carolina's going to be on the man advantage for at least a couple minutes. But it's both teams are playing a little too loose early. I mean, lots of turnovers, lots of giveaways. But it's been mostly free-flowing hockey both ways.
Yeah, South Carolina dominating possession, just yet to break through this Bama defense and Bryce Dunnigan in net. They do lead, or excuse me, they are tied for first in College Hockey South and all of AAU in power play goals at 25. See if they can add to it here at the 13:35 mark. Kai Bonsukin with it. He risks one on Dunnigan, saves it with his chest. Pucks around the net, takes a deflection in the net. Will need to be replaced there. It's a face-off in the Alabama zone. 13:27 left, 1:44 on your power play. And this moment will let us, tell you who's out there. It's going to be Flaherty, Bonsukin, Kay, Scove, and JP, can you make out that last number? Is that Locken?
I do believe that is Tommy Locken.
There we go.
So a very talented group of skaters for South Carolina, but a little bit of a different power play unit than we're used to.
Absolutely. I think, Riggins just came off the ice. That might be why he's not out there right now. Otherwise, he's about the best power play person you can have in all of AAU. Takes a deflection there out in net as South Carolina just peppering Dunnigan, as they still have it here. Good pass, just kind of whiffed on the conversion there in front of net. Kay has it, right face-off circle. He looks for the cross-ice pass. Good deflection there, but it's still in the Alabama zone. About 1 minute of this power play left. Another cross-ice pass attempt. Unsuccessful. Good pass in there, right face-off circle. It's Carson Scove. Gets it back to Kay. Bonsukin to his left now. Top of the key, shoots. Saved by Dunnigan. Looks for a clearance. Kay kept it in. Good glove work there. Able to stave off some pressure. 30 seconds left. Colin Reed does a great job to keep that in the zone as Alabama almost able to clear it. He does leave it off to touch up with 25 seconds left. Couple skaters will come on for South Carolina. Colin Reed, a great pass from Flaherty. Shot. Saved by Dunnigan with 19 seconds left. What do you make of the power play so far, JP?
Well, it's been good. I think South Carolina's got some good opportunities at it. They've kept the puck on net. They haven't been holding it too much. But overall, that is already the 10th save of the game for Dunnigan, and not even a full 8 minutes.
Not surprised at all. He's going to see a lot of action on the ice now. It's Riggins, Pushkar, Pineda, Marvin, and Colin Reed. This is their power play unit we are used to seeing. Riggins leads CHS in power play goals with 7. Looking to add to it here, but Alabama wins the faceoff, and they are able to clear. 7 seconds and counting. Pushkar has it up against the South Carolina bench. A great move there from a Frozen Tide skater. He gets it to Ellis to his left. Wide left of net. There's Alabama almost had a great chance to open the scoring.
Yeah, they had Tomoyan leaning, but he just missed everything and then some.
And, to give Tomoyan credit, he was, coming back over to that side of the net, but the shot just wasn't close there. That was number 92, Luke Ellis, his second opportunity out in front of net. If you get those on target, I think Alabama has a good chance to at least hang with South Carolina if they're able to jump on the mistakes like this.
Absolutely.
Right in front of net again, the puck just kind of leaks out. South Carolina with a good clearance there. Winkleblack racing down the ice to the right face-off circle. He wins that race. Plays it to himself off the boards. Tries to get it to Albers. Alabama will try to clear it. Just able to do so, but again, good hard skating there from the South Carolina forward. Here he is again. It falls to Bonsukin. Alabama seems to just be on the back foot here as a bad pass lets the puck fall to South Carolina. There's Wilkins' right face-off circle. Ellis is going to clear this away for the Frozen Tide. Winkleblack loses it. There's Wilcoxon. He shoots. Saved by Tomoyan. Good job just getting a piece of it. It's chipped forward. South Carolina does come out with it almost halfway through the first with 10:30 left. Big hit there, Lopez onto Marvin. This game getting a little bit more physical. Josh Wilkins doesn't like that one. He's second in the CHS in penalty minutes. He was looking to add to it there with Lopez on his hit list.
Alabama's starting to jump those passing lanes a little bit. South Carolina maybe telegraphing their moves a little bit.
Yeah, and Alabama's definitely just turned up the heat. Great skating there from Carson Scove. He gets it to the middle. Pineda whiffs on it, comes back to him.
At the crossbar.
Yeah, almost went in after Dunnigan made the initial save. South Carolina still with it. Poked up and out of play. We are officially over halfway done with the first period. Pete, what have you liked so far in the first period, man? I mean, I feel like it's been exciting. We just haven't seen the goals we're accustomed to.
Exactly. I mean, there's been opportunities for both teams. Of course, South Carolina's been a little bit more controlled or under structure, but their lack of control over the puck has given Alabama some great opportunities.
Sure has, and again, it's just got to clean up the passing a little bit. Some of that or just letting the puck run a little too far off your stick has given the Frozen Tide some opportunities. But South Carolina's offense has looked good so far. Bama skater goes down there. They're going to call a penalty for that.
I mean, the stick for South Carolina definitely got caught on something. Unsure if it was the glove of the Alabama skater or the stick.
I think it was going to be Marco Pineda heading to the penalty box. It was Louis DeCola there, a starter for the Crimson Tide. It looks like Pineda's stick got stuck in his glove and he just dragged him down, but what's the call there, JP?
Probably tripping?
It just looked weird. That's why I was
It looked
confused.
very weird. It was like slow motion.
Yeah. So South Carolina has to go on the kill now as Alabama gifted a golden opportunity. They'll look to set up the power play here on the ice for them. I see Fink, Lopez. We'll get you a couple names here in a minute. Again, it's a little hard to see. They've got Shuley out there. Great clearance there from John Riggins, I believe, just slapped that one all the way down the ice. Dunnigan plays it. Looks like he trips a South Carolina skater. No call there, but it looks like he stuck out his leg, JP.
Yeah, you know, it was a little bit tough to tell from my angle, but.
Absolutely, but again, that's another time. He's got to be careful playing with the puck. That one's going to get caught up in the lights. Riggins tried to backhanded chip that one out of the zone. Gives both teams an opportunity to make some changes. Now we can finally give you the Frozen Tide lineup a little better. If we can actually see their jerseys here, it's going to be Luke Ellis, Louis DeCola, Calvin Mansfield, Max Sextro. I'm 4 for 5 here, JP. Got one more. That's Tyler Zint. There we go. There we go. There's the Frozen Tide power play unit for everyone at home. Great clearance to start it off. Dunnigan's got to come out and gonna have to use the stick a little bit here as it hits a minute on the power play. It's been a successful kill so far. The South Carolina notoriously very good team as the referee gets taken out. The aggressive skating of Nick Kay and another South Carolina skater as they clear it once again. And I will say, JP, you're definitely right. The numbers are a little hard to see, especially if those jerseys get rolled up a little bit. Usually they have the last names up top.
Yeah, now everyone's honor.
Honor, courage, valor.
It's like those old Wounded Warrior
Sacrifice.
uniforms for the football team.
Sure is, as Alabama looks to settle it in for what might be their last attempt. Fink, nice move, but unable to get all the way through. It falls to Mansfield. 18 seconds. It takes a deflection before it gets to Tomoyan. 15 now on the power play. Fink fires. Pad save Tomoyan. Falls to Henderson. Off the boards. Good clearance for South Carolina. Alabama might have one more opportunity. South Carolina goes for a line change. Schweb. It's a pad save Tomoyan there. That one goes wide of net. Both teams have successfully killed a power play here in the first. Garrett Albers just sends that one down. South Carolina can get another couple changes off. Alabama looks to almost play that one out, but Tommy Marvin's going to be sent back racing for it. What'd you make of that Alabama power play or the South Carolina kill, whatever you want to take on it?
Well, it was kind of emblematic of the game as a whole as, you know.
Falls to Winkleblack here. South Carolina with a chance, but it jumps off Wilkins' stick, as you were saying, my friend.
you know, it was emblematic because Alabama got good chances that kind of came off script, off kilter. But South Carolina, when it really came down to it, off face-offs or off the draw, you know, off some run set plays, they could just rifle it down to kill time.
Yeah, I mean, South Carolina is really good as Tamoya just knocks that one to the side with his pad, and another South Carolina skater goes to the ground. Alabama kind of bringing some physicality in this one. Finelli with the right face-off circle, look for the cross-ice pass. Dunnigan blocks it, the net comes.
Yep. Office moorings again.
Moorings, yep. 6:20 left in the first period. You know, Dunnigan has had a couple shaky moments, but so far I think he's been really good for the Frozen Tide.
Well, I'm starting to think he's really kind of an unorthodox type goalie. I mean, he plays really off the cuff. He's loose. He's a gunslinger. And, you know, maybe that could come back to bite him. But so far, you know, he's living by the sword.
Hasn't done him any harm yet. Again, we're all knotted up at 0. It's a little under a third left to play here in the first period. South Carolina appears to lose the face-off there. Lost it for a second. They're going to fight with Alabama for it. Alabama comes away with it. They'll look to enter the offensive zone. It's Ellis here. He gets it forward to Shuley, unable to do so. And Colin Reed has it now for the Gamecocks. They look to build a little attack here. Bama wants an offsides call. They won't get it. Left face-off circle. Falls to Riccitelli at the blue line. He shoots. Takes a deflection. Shot into the Bama bench. Under 6 now. 5:41 in the first.
And with just, you know, almost around 5 minutes to go, it's been a fast-paced period. Not very many whistles, Spencer. You know,
a penalty a pop for each team, but again, no goals. Nothing else super noteworthy. It's been good hockey back and forth, but just nothing to really, you know, signify all the action we've seen. But we'll see as someone goes down hard. Right face-off circle shot. Deflected by Dunnigan. Someone's getting taken down there. No call. It's John Riggins. Gamecocks are hitting the ice one by one. Flaherty wins it back. Riggins goes after somebody. Here's the action you wanted, JP.
Yeah, I mean, you know, but the officials probably do need to, not that anyone's doing really anything extraordinary, but you don't want
you
guys
want to get
like,
a hold on.
Yeah, you don't want this game getting out of control, because then you just have to start over-policing things.
And that's no fun for anybody. Again, South Carolina still with the puck. Couldn't quite see what happened there. I was looking for the puck, and it seemed like Riggins went down, then a Frozen Tide skater went down, and
now a whistle. I'm not sure if it was
not sure either.
Offside on Carolina, perchance?
I think that seems to be the call. So nobody's going to the box. So again, this Plex, it is a packed house tonight. Nothing would set it off like a Carolina goal. Haven't seen one yet tonight. Puck falls in the left face-off circle in the Bama zone. South Carolina looks to pounce on it. But they'll have to retouch up. Again, at the 4.5-minute mark, Pineda collides with Lopez. And JP, this one, you got to think there's a breaking point coming soon as Pineda takes his own shot there down the ice. Lopez with it. Parried away by Tyler Tamoyan. Ian Hoover has it now behind Tamoyan. He gets it forward. Clearance, as the shot flies over Tamoyan's head as the clearance failed. Bama able to keep it in again. It's Fink with it. Nice move, but the centering pass finds nobody. South Carolina finally with a moment to breathe here. It's Aiden Dunphy with it. Nice pass to thread the needle. He gets it to his right. On the right face-off circle. Great move by Pashkar. Saved by Dunnigan. South Carolina still with it. That's going to be a goal. Again, we'll get you the number of who scored it in a minute, but South Carolina strikes first at the 3:41 mark. It is Aiden Dunphy, the sophomore defenseman, with his 5th goal of the season. Just right over that left shoulder of Dunnigan. Gamecocks. He finally gets beat there. That was a nice attack and a great move there by Pushkar to get the initial shot.
Well, it was such like a nonchalant goal that you almost didn't know it went in until everyone finally reacted.
I think it kind of hit the bar top right maybe and took a
banked in.
weird angle because, again, I wasn't sure if it had just kind of like crossed past Dunnigan or not, but I think it was just great placement by Dunphy. And South Carolina takes a 1-0 lead here. Under 4 left to play in the first. Alabama sends it down. Henderson loses his stick right in front of net. Still playing with his skates, though. Good job to kick the puck away as Mulcairn looks to clear it. South Carolina finally does it. Looking for Nick Kay. Pass just a little out in front. Tamoyan has it. Backhanded clearance gets it away from Calvin Mansfield. It's Alabama really cranking up the pressure here, trying to get this puck back.
Yeah, absolutely. Byron and kind of their frontline forwards have been very good on the forecheck. They've been pressuring South Carolina, forcing some of these turnovers, and this haphazard puck control in their own end has nearly cost South Carolina several times.
Yeah, good job dispossessing Wilcox in there as Alabama makes a couple changes. Tries to enter the zone, but a big hit will stymie that. South Carolina now with a 3-on-2. It's Nick Kay, right face-off circle, shoots. Dunnigan covers there as it almost leaked through. Mulcairn gets a little close to him. We've got a bit of a scuffle. Punch is thrown right in front of net. Dunnigan goes down. Mulcairn's down with him. The helmets are off, and this place is on fire. Luke Ellis still on Mulcairn into the glass. Josh Wilkins throws somebody down.
Ben Wilcoxon was down there. And now
it's still going.
Tyler Zent and
Sticks
Josh
are
Wilkins.
Down. It's about gloves, sticks, helmets everywhere.
Well, hey, this was a well-sportsman, clean game until it wasn't.
For about 17 minutes, yeah. Yeah, I'd say. But, JP, we talked about it. This game had to have a breaking point. Not surprised it comes here. Not surprised at all.
No, I mean, if there was one thing you could have bet money on this team doing.
And, it's not the first time we've seen this. Against Alabama last year, the D1 team, I believe to start the second period, I think everybody dropped gloves, JP. I mean, it was just a brawl. That time, you crowd the goalie. Is that a surefire way to start a fight?
Absolutely. That was – it never was – inevitable, man.
Yeah, and again, that's the way the game was looking. It looked like Dunnigan had kind of South Carolina thought he maybe lost the puck in his pad or something.
They
thought it was loose. Mulcairn got a little too close to him. About everyone ended up on the ground. JP, is that Nick Kay in the penalty box with his helmet off for South Carolina?
I do believe so.
I think I saw the 1-0 on the arm sleeve, but again, can't see his.
It's either that or Mulcairn.
I think that's a 10 there I'm seeing. Again,
I'm looking through a window. You have a better view.
That's very true, but quite hard to see. We will probably find out momentarily if there's going to be any ejections in the Alabama box. It's Tyler Zent, number 21. We've got now 2 South Carolina players in the box. There is 2 Bama players as well.
Yep, as Pushkar. And I think
it's Lopez, 23.
Yeah, they're the vice president for Bama. They're discussing with the officials. As I'm trying to look through our camera to see if I can see who that is in the penalty box for Alabama.
You know what, JP? While you take this moment, I'm gonna go to our live stream here and let's
the refs are in intense discussion. I'm trying to lip read here.
That's but great call there. I'm just gonna get a little replay of what happened myself as just pure chaos unfolded.
Winkleblack and Pushkar are talking to the guys in the box.
So a shot was fired onto Dunnigan. They get crowded. Someone gets shoved. Now, JP, I hate to consult, video review here, but it looks like Dunnigan grabbed a Gamecock player from behind as his teammate was getting
Well, that's no good.
Nonetheless, let's get back to hockey. Eventually, we will, after the referees have the longest conversations known to man. Typical
Words so
to the Plex,
easy.
of course. But with 2:34 left, South Carolina leads 1-0. When we eventually start playing hockey again, what do they need to do to extend their lead here?
Well, keep being aggressive. Play within the rules, of course. We don't need to see any more of this. But you just got to keep the pressure on because Dunnigan and Alabama have proved they will concede goals. And if you just keep hammering it on net, eventually you're going to find pay dirt.
That's just math. We're not great at math, but, the more times you test a goalie, the more times he's going to have to rise to the occasion. Because, again, hockey should resume soon. For Alabama, what's it going to take for them to get on the score sheet?
Well, it's going to be a whole lot of chilling out. They're emotions are running high. Just kind of let things simmer down. Just take a chill pill, man. Get the puck into the Carolina end. Get back to how you were when you were forcing mistakes and jarring the puck loose and getting opportunities in South Carolina's end off the Gamecock sticks.
You got to capitalize on South Carolina's mistakes. I think they were doing a good job of that, but the finishing wasn't there on the offensive end. I think that's one area to circle where they've got to improve a little bit. Is, again, hopefully we'll get something here soon. Looks like we've got a 5-minute major as well as another 2-minute.
Well, it's probably for the fighting.
JP, I think you're right, my friend.
I don't claim to be
No ejections, though. I'm a little surprised. We've seen people get tossed for something like this.
Well, it's the first period, and it was a big – no one really knows who was at fault. But I'm interested – it's just the refs are still telling each side what's going on.
And JP, again, the signs were building. You could see the tempers rising, and that's where you don't want to see the officiating ruin the game, and I don't think they did. But, again, you've got to try and get the game under control, otherwise something like this is going to happen, and something has surely happened. It's Ben Wilcoxon. Seems to exit the ice. That might be it.
He was engaged with Mulcairn behind the net, like separate from all the big scrums.
Well, that's the one where Dunnigan got involved, I think, and tried to grab Mulcairn. It got really physical, really fast again. And again, I'd turn this place standing room only for a minute, but you don't want to see the game get out of hand. Physicality is certainly a part of hockey, but you don't want to lose it to just guys swinging just for the sake of it. A South Carolina player is going to exit the ice as well. It was who we suspected. Nick Kay. He'll leave to a hero's applause rather than the jeers that Ben Wilcoxon faced.
Well, it could always be, there's only 2:34 left. If they've got 5 for fighting, they might just be going to the locker room a little bit early to make room in the penalty box for other miscreants. But I don't know.
It might be far from over, JP. Again, we've got 42 minutes of hockey left. Again, we're terribly sorry for mentioning how fast this game was going. We've done this
for long enough to know better.
Yeah, a horrible mistake. You talk about how fast the game is going. It will slow to a snail's pace. It looks like we will get back to hockey here soon. It's going to be 4-on-4.
Yeah, 4 skaters on the ice for both squads. Carolina's excelled in these kind of situations.
Hey, will you read out the Frozen Tide players for
I would
our
love
fans
to.
at home?
You got Garrett Connor, number 19 out there. You have number 4, Austin Fink, the president. Then you have number 24, Louis DeCola. And then joining them is...
I think it's 23, Jensen Lopez.
Yes. I couldn't quite see with the numbers.
I spotted him before he turned. Yeah, there we go. And for South Carolina, John Riggins, Jake Pushkar, Kaibon Sukin, Tommy Marvin. Dreams and Nightmares rings out. And again, you got to get the crowd back into it. 4-on-4 hockey. Got to think this favors the Gamecocks with their speed. But it does provide Alabama with an opportunity if South Carolina gets a little ahead of themselves, makes a bad move. This could get knotted up at 1 in the blink of an eye.
Absolutely. It should be a fun little end here, and then we get a nice break. I need some water.
Absolutely. We've been talking for longer than normal because we've had about a 10-minute break from action here. We've also, we've leveled up our stream a little bit. We've got a 4-on-4 button, a power play timer.
Yeah,
a big
we're
shout out
cool.
to our tech crew. We'll go ahead and shout them out, JP. I mean, we'll give them thanks at the end. We've got Reece Nolting, Doug Andreuzzi, Mary Des Parker, and Caroline Smith. A big shout out to them, everyone at SGTV, everyone watching, Cock Hockey fans. Thanks for joining us. I'm Spencer Ball. He's JP Barry.
We're back.
Let's end this first period with some good old-fashioned, clean hockey here. South Carolina controls it. They're going to slow things down before they build up into an attack. 2:15 left. Here comes John Riggins. It's 3-on-3 hockey, actually, now.
What the?
One skater did go off, so that's why things have really slowed down. It looks like overtime out here because, frankly, it's the overtime rules. So we'll see how that affects the play as Connor has it now. Left face-off circle. Good deflection there from Pushkar. It falls to Tommy Marvin. South Carolina slows things down. And again, you've got a lot more ice to work with. And with the individual talent that South Carolina possesses, got to think it might favor them. But good stick work from Alabama. Gets the puck away quickly. DeCola with it. As they play it back around to each other. Under 1.5 to play. Looks for a length of the ice pass just past the outreach stick of Shuley there. He sends it back to DeCola. Pushkar comes off, as will the rest of the other two Gamecock skaters. Flaherty comes on. Colin Reed is on. Along with Carson Scove. We've got 1 minute left to play here in this first, and then we'll figure out how exactly the rest of the hockey's going to work to start the second. Scove races into the Alabama zone. Right face-off circle shot. Covered up by Dunnigan.
And no fights.
Yeah, I was going to say, he makes the save this time. And, just kidding. Big shove there from Carson Scove.
Can we not? I mean, come on.
Shuley got close to him, and I don't know what happened, but.
Repellent.
Carson Scove does lead College Hockey South in penalty minutes. But again, so does South Carolina. That's not indicative of him at all. It's just this team is physical and not afraid to show it by any means. Flaherty, right face-off circle. Tries to deke left. Great sliding play there from a Bama skater. That was number 12, John Schwepp. Scove wins it back. Reed right in front. Dunnigan does a good job to poke it away with the stick. That's Reed with it now. Behind the glass. As another skater will come on for each side. It's 4-on-4 now. Right face-off circle. Backhand shot. Pad save. Dunnigan. That was Scove looking for it. Bama on the break now. Little 1-2 with Ellis and his partner. Tamoyan just slaps it away. Pinned against the boards here. 6 seconds left. South Carolina just going to look to kill this clock here. Ellis tries to wrestle it back. The buzzer sounds. And after what was the quickest 17 minutes and change, the game screeched to a halt with a big fight, but South Carolina comes out on top in the first, leading 1-0. We've got 40 minutes of hockey left. JP, what do you make of this first period?
Well, we're going to be in for a long night, I think. But, these are two teams that aren't very familiar with each other. They became well acquainted with each other, with the physicality that each ball club possesses. And, well, when two alpha predators are in the same ecosystem,
you share the ring for a couple rounds, and
yeah,
all of a sudden, you definitely get to know each other now. JP, is that going to do us for the first? You got anything else you'd like to add?
Oh, it was a fun period. South Carolina's one goal was a great boatload of fun, but I think we've earned a nice 15-minute break.
And so did everybody at home and the fans here at the Plex. Again, for SGTV, I'm Spencer Ball. He's JP Barry. We'll be back in about 10 to 15 for period number 2 of Cock Hockey action. Stick with us. And welcome back here to the Plex. Again, I'm Spencer Ball, joined by JP Barry here with Student Gamecock Television. South Carolina leads 1-0 after the first period. JP, what are your big takeaways?
Well, it was a very quick first 17 or so minutes, but Aiden Dunphy did score the first and only goal of the game so far, his 5th of the season, with 3:41 to go to put the Gamecocks up 1-0. But then all you-know-what broke loose as the fight.
HE double hockey sticks, my friend.
Oh, hockey sticks. But, that was a huge brawl. We're still seeing the ramifications of it as it'll be 4-on-4 hockey for 2:26. Something real quick I want to mention. Dunnigan for Alabama made 17 saves in that first period on 18 shots on goal. If South Carolina can keep up that pace, they're going to get a lot more by the guy who has a .378 goals allowed average on the campaign.
Absolutely. He's been really great for the Frozen Tide, keeping them in this game. South Carolina, I think they just have to keep trying to break him down. For Alabama, you've got to capitalize at some point. You've got to do a little bit better job of finishing because they really haven't.
They've had chances.
They have had some chances, but some of them haven't even hit Tomoyan,
They've been wide of net. They've gotten blocked in traffic. So Alabama just needs to keep playing their game. They just need to finish when they get these chances.
Do you expect – what's the level of physicality you expect here in the
I don't
second?
know, because everything was kind of chill for a while, and then both teams started flattening each other, and then a Bar Street brawl broke out, and I don't know, man. I'm sure both teams got a talking to at half or during the intermission.
We're either going to see drop gloves now or we're going to see some hockey for a while, and I think we're both pulling for hockey here.
I think everyone is.
Riggins wins the face-off at center ice. Again, it's 4-on-4 hockey for about 2 minutes and 20 seconds here to start the second. South Carolina leads 1-0. Tommy Marvin skates it in, shoots. Saved by Dunnigan. I've messed up his name a couple times here. Got to give him a little more credit. He's playing great. Ellis, nice move. Shot wide again of Tomoyan, but it was an absolute laser beam. He's got a lot of space. He'll take it. Skate forward. Blocked again. Alabama, we saw him really try and turn up the pressure, create more mistakes from South Carolina. Looking to do more of that here, it seems, to start the second. Nice move there. It's going to be Carson Scove, right face-off circle. Backhanded pass looking for Riggins in the left face-off circle. That would have been something if it found its way through. Said it's Fink for the Frozen Tide. Blocked there. It's almost screened from Tomoyan. Quick reactions to save that one. Puck loose as both teams make some changes here. Riggins just going to chip it against the boards as the ref goes down. Hopefully he's okay.
Yeah, that's not the first time an official has taken a tumble on the boards.
There have been just everybody has just been hitting the ice. Even the officials, which is something you never want to see. Everybody seems okay, which is the best news you can hope for in that situation. Bonsukin with it now. He'll slap it down. Knocked to the side there by Dunnigan. 45 seconds left of 4-on-4 hockey. Big hit there by Colin Reed. A good job to stop all the momentum of number 12, John Schwepp. It's going to be an icing call. I believe JP, right?
I don't.
What would that whistle be for?
It might have been offsides.
You must be right. Yeah, you're right. The Alabama bench was up in arms. That's why I was a little confused. I was like, didn't know what they were hoping for. It's going to be a face-off at center ice. 33 seconds left. A 4-on-4, 18:06 left in the second. South Carolina wins the face-off, but it will lose it there. That was Sextro with a good job to win it back, but his pass doesn't find anybody but a Gamecock. If played well, South Carolina's going to have the last chance of this 4-on-4. Instead, they'll lose possession of the puck. They win it back in neutral ice. Nice move. They skated in under 5 now in the power play shot. Dunnigan deflects as that one had some little bit of sauce on it. Riccitelli at the blue line. He shoots. Glove. Save. Dunnigan We're back to 5-on-5.
That was a great save by Dunnigan, but, it's a tough break for Carolina to not be able to follow up on that, rebound chance. That's been the biggest issue, I think, for Dunnigan. He hasn't really controlled rebounds as much as you'd like with how many shots South Carolina has got on net.
I think you're absolutely right. You can't afford to spill out in front of this team. That's what we saw in the first goal was Jake Pushkar with an original shot on net that Dunphy was able to follow up. A little more of a delayed follow-up. It wasn't instantaneous, but still, you're going to want to corral those against South Carolina. Bama wins the face-off. It's kicked forward by Kramer. Played around back in net. And again, there's still a player in each penalty box. I wonder, was there a 10-minute assess that just wasn't on? This puck's out in front of Tamoyan. He seems to make a save as he turtles. Great job keeping Alabama off the score sheet. South Carolina pokes it free, so they'll have to touch up. The puck's loose in neutral ice. Again, more skaters just hit the ice here.
I think Alabama thought they had a goal. The bench erupted. The ref waved it off.
Riccitelli shot. Deflected to the side by Dunnigan. Another save.
Wow.
Albers with the second chance. Great pad save there from Dunnigan. Lopez with it now. He'll skate it in for Alabama. The game back to its breakneck pace we saw earlier. South Carolina now with an opportunity. It's Tommy Locken. DeCola does a good job to zone him off the puck there, but he shoots it way too hard off the ice, and South Carolina caught in the line change, has to go all the way back to get it. It's Ian Hoover.
Yeah, a nice skillful play there to avoid the too many men penalty for Carolina.
It's going to be, I believe that's Sean Riggins racing it in. He collides with DeCola at the corner post. And Alabama has it. They're going to go off to the races. Just back and forth hockey. It's Fink with it. He loses possession. South Carolina cross-ice pass. It's Finelli, right face-off circle. Tries to get past Dunnigan. He controls it with his pads. It was good defense by DeCola to just kind of, again, veer him away from goal. But great back-and-forth hockey right now.
Absolutely. It has been, literally racing up and down the ice, shot attempt after shot attempt. It's very fun to watch. But, I think South Carolina has definitely gotten the better of the chances, although Alabama had Tamoyan on his back like a turtle, and they weren't able to convert.
He definitely made a great kick save, I believe, and, that's what got him to his back, actually. Alabama needs another skater here. And, you mentioned watching the game. It's Tyler Zint and Josh Wilkins still watching it from the penalty box. They were not ejected, though, so I assume they will be rejoining their benches soon. The wrister there goes wide from Pineda, but South Carolina still has it. Byron, great job intercepting it. Then he's taken down. It is going to be a penalty on South Carolina. Marco Pineda is going to head to the the box. I believe that's his second penalty of the night, both kind of tripping. And he just pulled Nate Byron down from behind, and JP, he did not need to commit that one.
No, it was kind of a really silly penalty for the kid. It's just, something you really don't want to see. And it's going to give Alabama the chance they needed to kind of get back into this thing because they've had some good chances. They just haven't been able to sustain things. And now they're just, you give them
life.
Yeah, exactly.
JP, can you give us a save counter for Dunnigan now at
he is
15,
currently on
30 mark?
5, 10, 15, 20, 22 saves, but
22 racing down the ice. It's Winkleblack. Seen a lot of good hard skating from him. Left face-off circle. Riggins with it now, and that's a good first 15 seconds killed. But again, he's been tested that many times. You feel like South Carolina's got the better of Alabama. It's still a one-goal game. It's just 1-0. Alabama looking to strike back. Here's Lopez with it. Poked free by Winkleblack. He's been really good tonight.
Yeah, that's someone.
And it's a penalty on Alabama. They're going to finally get Jensen Lopez for something. He's been a little bit of a pest all night long, harassing Gamecock skaters.
I think what happened was, when
John Riggins is chirping him the whole way back to the bench.
I think it was either interference or a cross check. which is good because Alabama has been doing that kind of the whole night. And
he's lost the puck and then did something, but he just lost it immediately. And you had a better eye on it than I did. But again, 4-on-4 hockey, and then South Carolina will have a 30 seconds of man advantage.
Exactly. I was just reading the arm signals from the official.
Yeah, but Lopez, we saw him and Riggins just moments ago down on this left side of the ice get into it a little bit. Slapper there, Mulcairn. Saved by Dunnigan. Good job to tee that one up.
Well, now it's 23.
He has been really solid for the Frozen Tide, but you wonder how much more physical is this game going to get. Both teams are chirping. I mean, when John Riggins, one of your team captains, is jawing at Lopez the whole way down the ice and the rest of the team on his way to the bench, that's one of the guys that sets the tone. Great pass from Mulcairn. Shot. Deflected high. Dunnigan again. Standing tall.
Well, that's 24.
Yeah.
The puck
Can we
kind
count them one by one now?
Yeah, I'll do that. The puck kind of treated Dunnigan as a ramp there.
That's a good way to put it.
And his final destination was the rafters. But it's been kind of a start to the second period where it's a lot of action then a pause. Then a lot of action and a pause.
And it's these big physical moments that have kind of been the big pauses in action, and what's been a really good game when the hockey speaks for it. Connor, deflected by Drew Henderson, who breaks another stick. It's at least his second time losing it, so Alabama, glove, save Tamoyan. Great job to bail out his defense there. Referee has his hand raised as Mulcairn. And Shuley getting to a shoving match here behind goal. JP, we said it before the big fight happened, man. The tempers, it's the boiling point. We keep seeing it almost get reached here. And is South Carolina going to get called for a penalty here?
No? Mulcairn's.
No? Okay. We saw an official with his arm raised there so I wasn't sure what exactly was happening. But again, still 4-on-4. Your Gamecocks have Finelli, Flaherty, Riccitelli, and Tommy Locken on the ice. Schwepp has it now for the Tide. Tries to get it Connor behind net. 45 seconds of 4-on-4 play, and then the Gamecocks will have a man advantage. Was going to be offside. South Carolina touches up, and Alabama has the puck now. Fink with it. He's going to skate it in for the Tide. He has Connor to his right, who just loses the puck in the right face-off circle. He'll still fire it on. Deflected up and out of play. 25 seconds left before the Gamecocks get that extra man. Wouldn't surprise me if Alabama wants to put their kind of kill lineup in now, just so that they have their best players out there for when it becomes 5-on-4.
I agree completely, Spencer. It's been a great kind of punch-counter-punch in the second half, or the second period. I keep saying half. I've been watching too much basketball lately.
Can't blame you for that.
No, it's been fun, unless you watch the South Carolina Gamecocks men's team.
Yeah, the women's team, you don't even need to speak about their dominance. South Carolina works it forward. They have their power play goal unit on. It's Marvin, Riggins, Reed.
But
they turn it over. Ellis gloves it as he enters his zone. 5 seconds left to 4-on-4. Riggins sniffs it out. The Gamecocks gaining the extra skater. Ellis with a great play to block that pass with his glove there. Lopez with it. Right face-off circle blocked down by Tamoyan.
I think a delayed penalty is going to be coming to South Carolina. I think because, the whistle blew when we touched it. I saw someone with their hands up. South Carolina seemed rather upset.
Someone just went in the box. It was number 14, Luke Richards. I'm not sure if he's a... No?
Actually, excuse me, maybe it was... I don't...
Yeah, it's
my brain is about to explode.
No, I was confused because I saw Lopez come into the game for Alabama. And JP, I think he was the one that committed one of those penalties. I wonder if that's the reason for it. He technically couldn't have left the box yet, right? I don't know.
All I know is there's 3 skaters on the ice for Alabama.
5-on-3. Yeah, it's 5-on-3 for 21 seconds. Then it'll be 5-on-4. South Carolina with it. It's Marvin at the blue line. Riggins, slapper. Just missed it at the left face-off circle. Pineda with it. Words are hard sometimes. Marvin has it. Pineda to his right. Gets it forward. Pushkar just misses. It's going to be 5-on-4 now as a Frozen Tide skater races on to help his defense. 1:35 now. South Carolina slows it down. Riggins at the blue line, gets it over to Marvin at the point. Pineda, cross-ice pass, up and out of play with 1:22 left on the power play. 12:43 left in the second. Still a 1-0 score here. And for South Carolina, you know, great opportunity to try and double your lead. For Alabama, if you can hold on, it's been a pretty evenly matched game, especially when your goalie Dunnigan is playing like he is tonight.
Absolutely. It's been great for Dunnigan. He's really kind of settled into this one.
And how about that from Max Sextro to clear? Didn't get enough on it to kill enough time, but great job trying to do something for Alabama. Marvin to his right. It's Riggins. Blocked before it goes anywhere by Ellis. Back to Marvin. 1 minute now on the power play. Marvin with it now. Shoots. Saved by Dunnigan. Just blocked away, and Marvin gets just checked out of nowhere by Sextro.
And the denizens of the Plex, none too pleased with that one.
No, they didn't. Didn't quite like that one at all. What happened there, JP? Did the puck go too high or something?
I think it was played with a stick too high.
Or
they
they
blew
held
it
it
dead.
too long because Tommy Marvin got speared.
It's, you know, who's to say?
I mean, that was some prime WWE early 2000s edge right there, you know. That's a great move. You know, this has kind of felt like an old school WWE match. I mean, both teams just brawling. It's Jim Ross and Jerry Lawler in the booth.
That's how it feels sometimes watching South Carolina play.
Winkleblack with it now, skates it in. There's 40 seconds left to the power play.
Well, someone knocked over the beer tower.
Shot saved by Dunnigan. You know, I thought something happened on the ice,
Yeah,
but no,
I was
it was a
making
grave tragedy with cans.
I was making sure that our good listeners weren't like, what did we miss?
No, yeah, I was going to call it after you, so heads up play. My friend Flaherty skates it in, 20 seconds left. He leaves it for Winkleblack, who loses it, but good job from Carson Scove to regain control. 10 seconds and counting now for South Carolina. Scove, right face-off circle. Again, under 10. Behind net now, looks for the pass back. Scove, and the power play is killed, but the skater still has to get their shot. Parried away by Dunnigan. Flaherty, left face-off circle, still out in front. Bama yet to clear. Flaherty with it. It's 5-on-5 at the 11-minute mark here. Winkleblack fakes the shot, gets it to the man behind net. Pass shot just over the arm. Dunnigan blocked down. Does it leak past? They're saying no goal.
And the puck, the goal is off its moorings again. There's like 80 people in the crease.
Carson Scove thought he had one there.
One could argue.
Man, Dunnigan, you know, we've talked about him not being able to control the puck. Would have been really great if we had NHL technology to see if that would leak past. Of course, we're not going to have that here,
unfortunately,
but
this is indeed the Plex.
It is,
so.
And it's beautiful. It's the best place for hockey we have, and I tell you what.
I'd rather be nowhere else.
That's right. We wouldn't want it any other way, but nonetheless, that lacking of billion-dollar technology is might have robbed South Carolina of a goal, but nonetheless, it's 1-0, 5-on-5 hockey for the first time in what feels like a while, JP.
Absolutely.
10:59 left in the second. Got to give a lot of credit to Alabama for that kill there. That was gutsy. Alabama finally clears it from their zone. South Carolina wants it back, though. Colin Reed has it in neutral ice. They'll need to touch up. Get it back to the goal scorer, Aiden Dunphy. He skates it in. Plays it around back. It's Colin Reed now. The beer tower falls yet again. John Riggins tried to pin the puck against the boards. Connor with it now. Looks for a centering pass. It's deflected away from Lopez. Alabama just hanging around this game, JP. Again, it's a one-goal game. Physical play up against the boards. Dunphy has it. Just about at the halfway point. The puck is cleared into the Alabama bench. A huge hit. Lopez involved again. We've got shoving right in front of the referee, right in front of the bench.
The ref took a shot, I think.
And they're still going at it. I mean, they're swinging. Yet again, Lopez is pulling down somebody.
Finelli and
Riggins gets involved.
Finelli and Schwepp.
Schwepp's throwing punches at Finelli. Schwepp's still going, trying to put Finelli into the bench. Oh, it's...
You can't do that.
No, you can't. You can tell Riggins and Lopez have wanted a piece of each other for about I don't know, 30 minutes, you know. You know, and I think the new LiAngelo ball is the perfect soundtrack to what we've witnessed here. As more skaters head to the box.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my goodness. It's a convoy for Alabama heading to it. That was Mansfield. Schwepp, I'd imagine.
I mean.
Lopez comes to meet the officials, probably bloodied because he's been in every altercation this game.
Jesus. I mean,
I'm about to lose my voice because we're commentating fights and not hockey, JP. And you know what that means for the state of the game.
Well, time to go back to doodling on my stat pad.
Yeah,
That's what we have up here. I have saves written on a notepad, and clone trooper helmets. So
you know, the game has crawled to a stop once again. That happens every time a fight happens. You can't blame the officials.
No, it's because it's 10 o'clock on a Friday night and nobody knows what's happening. It's not their, this is their like hobby, or I don't know. It's definitely not their day job.
No,
because it's 10 o'clock.
I know it turns into a nightly ordeal every time at the Plex, especially when it gets like this. One thing for South Carolina, though, JP, John Riggins gets involved in that fight. One thing you really don't want to have happen is your best player gets sent off. You know, he's a guy you'd want in the end of this game, especially it's still a one-score game. You'd hate for him to go off and really not have a major impact on it.
Yeah, that is very, that's something you desperately don't want to happen because, good Lord. For a game that's been so devoid of finishing, it's not devoid of offense, but it's the finishing just hasn't been there for anybody.
Yeah, and, it's really, we'll see what happens again, but right in front of the Alabama bench was where all that physicality happened, and JP, did you really get a good look at? We kind of saw what happened, but it all happened so quick and right in front of the bench as the beer tower is complete. Let's focus on something positive. A flanneled hero has reassembled the Mick Ultra Tower, and much to the...
It doesn't get much better than that,
much to the cheers of the crowd. When there's no hockey, at least you can celebrate that. Somebody might be hitting the showers. Is it Big Ian Hoover? It is, and the sticks will hit the ice for him as he leaves to a riotous applause. Now we'll have to see if an Alabama skater is joining him or if it's a solo exit for Mr. Hoover.
Is this, Why Can't We Be Friends?
Yeah, it's
a great song.
You know what? We've got to give a big shout out to whoever is on Aux today, doing an outstanding job. And the skater leaving for the Frozen Tide, it's Alex Fasaro. Hey, JP, it's almost February. Groundhog Day, another set of 5-minute majors.
It doesn't get much worse.
Don't you love it?
Well, hey, it doesn't get much better than that.
That's right. We've got, again, another set of 5-minute majors, followed by 2-minute minors. We've seen this movie before, ladies and gentlemen. And for better or for worse, you're seeing it again. You're getting to spend it with me and JP. As we're just boogieing to the tunes right now.
There's nothing else to do. They're still talking to Pushkar and Lopez. And I think they're just saying to Pushkar and Lopez, why can't we be friends?
Why can't
we're all hockey players here.
When we've played hockey, JP, the hockey has been really good, right? Would you agree? I think the hockey's been great.
Indubitably, I should say.
Now, if you're evaluating this also on a fight standpoint,
it's been pretty rad.
Pretty good too. This game has had everything except an explosion of goals. I'm really, you know, you're just waiting for the other shoe to drop for this game to get a little bit more high scoring. South Carolina doesn't play in many 1-0 games, JP, do they?
No, they don't. Neither does Alabama. A lot of their games, even that they win, are high scoring with at least 4 or 5 goals apiece. Some of their losses have been even more lopsided. So I think it's mostly been the physicality that's kind of dragged this game into a gator roll.
A gator roll is a great way to put it. It's been a stalemate of just punch after punch after punch. And, oh, man. JP, I know we're not even at the halfway point, just by 2 seconds, of course. You know,
of course.
29 minutes, 58 seconds of just, you know, Plex brilliance, I guess. That's a, as you know, we've got more chatting going on, of course, on the ice for South Carolina in what will presumably be 3-on-3 hockey. Jake Pushkar, Tommy Marvin, and I believe that's Mr. John Riggins, JP.
I believe so, too. You know, it's good to see John Riggins, you know,
not
skating
in the box
by.
and on the ice, that's right. It is going to be actually Carson Scove, so not John Riggins. Not sure if Riggins is in the box or not.
The numbers are killing me.
It's hard to, it is much harder to see. But it is going to be Scove, Pushkar, and Tommy Marvin for the Frozen Tide. It looks like it's going to be Austin Fink.
Number 24, Luis DeCola.
And Nate Byron?
Yes.
DeCola will actually come off for Luke Ellis.
Of course.
He's just standing outside the bench, you know.
But for what? Why not?
Alabama,
for fun.
Alabama has a little smaller team than South Carolina. With how many people are in the penalty boxes and how many people have been sent to the locker room, their team is down to one row here.
Very true and honest.
We met their coach earlier. He's looks to be smiling over there. He's having a great
fun.
time.
Yeah, this is great. I mean, this is what it's all about.
Love it or hate it, JP, this is hockey. This is Gamecock hockey. Here on Student Gamecock Television. Again, love to shout out all our viewers here tonight. I'm Spencer Ball. He's JP Barry. Almost at the halfway point, but thanks for joining us here as, again, somebody hits the ice immediately, but Carson Scove is going to skate away with the puck. One-on-one. Tries to get around Fink. He will almost beat him to the puck. So for another minute 45, this is going to be 3-on-3, then 4-on-4 for another 3 minutes. After that, Tommy Marvin with it. Up to Scove. South Carolina looking to have numbers here. Good pass, right face-off circle. Pushkar slips, just couldn't quite get the stick to it. Alabama now off and running. Scove, great play with the stick to slow it down. Now it's Fink hitting the ice at 2-on-1. Pushkar. Left face-off circle, gets around the goalie, and it's in. Jake Pushkar with a great move to send Dunnigan flying. The net came off its moorings there. I wasn't sure if they were going to call that, so that's why the goal came a little later. South Carolina doubles their lead. It's 2-0 here.
I mean, just what a move there. Forehand, you know, they generate the 2-on-1 as Alabama has two skaters collide at center ice. And then you got Pushkar, gives it, gets it back, goes forehand, backhand, and, I mean, Dunnigan just sold out for the forehand. When he pulled it back with the backhand, it was all over from there. You could just tap it in and score to put the Gamecocks up 2-0.
An outstanding move. I got a little scared there for the South Carolina fans. I thought they were going to say that the net had come off and it would be a disallowed goal. But, again, Jake Pushkar's move will not live in vain. It was also a great 1-2 move there to free him up. Still 3-on-3 hockey for another minute. It's going to be Reed, Riggins, and Flaherty on the ice now. The fans are loud as ever here. 2-0 South Carolina. 8:45 left to play in this second period. Flaherty tries to poke it away from Connor. Does a great job of getting that inside position on the boards. Connor gets it back to Sextro. Tomoyan just knocks that up and out of play. He has just been composed as ever back there in net.
Yes, he has. He hasn't really been tested very much. There was the one time where it wasn't even really his fault. He was just sprawled out on his back. Other than that, it's been a calm, collected evening for Tomoyan, as opposed to literally every other player on his team.
Very calm and collected here at the Plex. That is certainly a way to put it, my friend. But again, more 3-on-3 hockey for 27 seconds. Then it'll move to 4-on-4. DeCola with it now at the blue line. Gets it over to the right face-off circle. That one's pushed away. Tyler Zint is back on the ice for the Frozen Tide. I believe he was serving longer than 5 minutes in the penalty box along with Josh Wilkins. So he is now back. The 3-on-3 will expire right now. We've got 4-on-4 for the next 3 minutes, right as we hit the 8-minute mark. Poked away from Zint. That's just great stick work. He looks to get it back behind the goal. He's knocked against the boards, and Tommy Locken comes away with it for your Gamecocks. It's Riccitelli now with it. He gets it over to his right. The Gamecocks will skate it in. That's Locken. He plays it off the boards to himself and meets DeCola behind net. He's going to lose it. A little bit of that back and forth. Again, the hockey has been good whenever the fighting hasn't taken over, JP.
Yeah, that's really all you can ask for, I guess.
Deflection out in front of net.
Hit a body.
Stopped, yeah, stopped before Tomoyan. Another shot. Tomoyan, ready as ever back there. Shuley fired one on. Thought we were going to see another fight there, JP.
Yeah,
I mean, every time you see some people get close to each other, you know, you're just assuming the worst here.
For the briefest moment, there was a shove, and I was like, just let it go.
Please, no.
We've seen enough of you ruffians.
You know,
your
the next
fisticuffs.
The next UFC is coming up soon enough. I mean, we can give it a rest, guys. Let the professional fighters do their jobs. $7:15 left in the second. Again, we've got another small stoppage of play here. Finally, we're going to get back to it. Ellis on the dot. Near face-off circle on this right side of the ice in the South Carolina zone. Fink plays it behind net. South Carolina does clear. Bama will have to touch up. Instead, they'll just send it down. Mulcairn with it now. Haven't seen him in a while. He's shoved to the ground.
And it's going to be a penalty coming up, I believe, to Alabama.
I believe that's right. Ellis goes right to the box as Mulcairn was dragged down. It's a silly penalty, but for South Carolina, now you've got a great chance to make it a 3-0 game here, and that's what you'd love to do. You don't want to keep Alabama in this game, especially when you have a chance to not put them away, but make it a little harder.
Yeah, put this one put Alabama's backs up against the cliffside like it's 300, and really just
it's not a place you want to be.
No, I've seen how that movie ends.
Yeah, no, not good for the guys in red.
No, that's true. And another whistle.
Leonidas, pretty cool though.
Yeah, I don't know how that didn't come up in we asked pregame about favorite world leaders.
I did. You know, we were taking we get here about 3 hours early, so we got plenty of time to just
throw the football.
Yeah. Hey, we get warmed up as well. You know, you gotta get right before the big game here. Again, it's gonna be 4-on-3 hockey. Alabama does a good job to clear it. They've been pretty good on the kill so far tonight, JP, I believe.
Yeah, they have. No power play goals for South Carolina.
That's all you can ask for when a team is as good as South Carolina is on the power play. They are going to slow it up and just work this 4-on-3. Marvin with it. He's their best passer. Over to Bonsukin. Oh, off the post. Dunnigan was fully stretched out like Superman there.
They've had that twice where they've worked it down and then gone cross ice to that near side face-off circle.
Here's Riggins. Shoot. Off the pad of Dunnigan and then wide. Riggins looking for his first goal of the game. Bonsukin over to Marvin. Left face-off circle. Slaps it off the arm. I mean, that one like a rocket.
That one has some heat on it.
Marvin wants it back. Riggins is going to skate it forward. He's on this right face-off circle. That's his little office he likes. Marvin, good job to just keep it in, but the pass sails wide. Fink clears. Alabama's going to get some fresh skaters on, and so will South Carolina. They'll chip it forward. Here's one of the goal scorers, Jake Pushkar. Nice move, frees up space, just whiffs a little bit. Another opportunity Dunnigan's there. As that one leaks past, I believe that's Bonsukin. Still got Marvin on the ice along with Pushkar, and there's one more. Can't quite see his numbers on that far side for your Gamecocks. Marvin enters the zone. Plays it back to Bonsukin. It's Carson Scove to his right. There he is. Right face-off circle. Back to Bonsukin. Shot deflected back right to him. Marvin with it. Slapper. It's goal! That was a great pass. Just finds the stick of Pushkar, who teed that one up and lasered it in. Completely fumbled over my words there and just said, it's goal.
It's goal.
It's goal. It is.
It doesn't get much better than that, though.
You know what? With all the fighting we've seen, my brain's a wreck. But South Carolina does make it a 3-0 game. It was just great passing to free up Jake Pushkar for his second of the game.
Second of the period.
You're dead on there, my friend. And you mentioned that cross-ice pass. He was waiting for it there. I mean, couldn't have been more squared up for it. Hammered it home. And for the first time in over 5 minutes, we've seen 5-on-5 hockey. Well, we're seeing it right now. As Alabama, they do now have their backs against the wall. It's 3-0 South Carolina. Garrett Albers with it. He skates it into this Alabama zone. Place where Alabama has become all too friendly for their liking. Flaherty wins it back. Shoots it off the boards. Josh Wilkins in pursuit. Welcome back to the ice, Josh. Albers and Byron kind of fighting for it. Byron goes down. No penalty call there. Zint with it. Alabama desperately needs something to stay in this one. As the puck goes behind the net of Tamoyan. He's again just calm as ever. Ellis with it. Sextro's in. Right face-off circle. One-on-one. Tamoyan stands tall. Sextro just tried to get a little too cute and didn't give himself enough space, I don't think.
No, yeah, he was losing the battle against the compressor there.
That fires up the crowd right there. 3:35 left to play in this second period. Feels like we've been playing for longer than we have.
There's Sex Pro again, almost generating another breakaway. He just couldn't quite get his stick on it.
No, again, just jump in the lane. Alabama does a good job. I mean, they're playing heads-up defense here. Cross-ice pass. That's Tommy Locken getting involved. The beer tower goes down. DeCola gets taken down. That's going to be a penalty on Tommy Locken.
Yeah,
clear as day.
It most certainly is. DeCola goes down. He was tied up with the stick. And that was a collision so big on the boards, it knocked over the beer tower and also drew a penalty.
And that's what the fans are, most upset about, I'm sure. Again, 3-0 South Carolina leads at the 3:07 mark. Tommy Locken is headed to the penalty box. Alabama, JP, do they need a goal to get back in this one?
Does a bear crap in the woods, Spencer? I mean, by the end of this period, you'd love to be down just 2 goals, trim that deficit, because what's the most dangerous lead in hockey, Spencer?
I was new to hockey when I learned this, JP, and you've so graciously taught me that a 3-1 lead is a lead you do not feel safe with.
No, it is not, and that would be huge for Alabama to go into a fresh 20, only needing 2 goals to tie, proving that they can get one by Tamoyan, who was tested there on that breakaway by Sextro, but other than that, it's been smooth sailing so far.
Yeah, and again, when he's been tested tonight, Tamoyan, he's done a great job. As he's tested there and just blocks it as it shot over his head.
And the ref just blew it dead. He thought that Tamoyan had covered the puck. It was still loose to his left. But
I didn't know if he thought that or high stick from Connor there trying to knock that one down.
Well, I think if it was that, they would have brought the face-off out of the zone.
Dead on there, my friend. He's a sharpshooter, this JP guy, and 2:45 left in the second period. Thanks for hanging out with us here as we've had just the most interesting game as we usually do here at the Plex. Fink with it for the Frozen Tide. He's Spinning circles over there by himself until he just gets pinned against the boards by Finelli.
I mean, who doesn't love just spinning in circles aimlessly for no reason?
Reed in pursuit of Dunnigan there. Kramer has it now for the Tide. Minute 10 left, and again, that was another beer tower falling. That's why you
I think people are more locked in on that than the actual game at this point.
They actually are, because they probably expect, you know, a huge fight to break out, which can't blame them for. There's been lots of penalties, lots of punches thrown, and we've seen more goals in this second period as the puck gets pinned against the boards. Under a minute left of this Alabama power play, in which they haven't been able to do much. They do actually control the puck now. Fink with it. Lopez now at the top of the key. Takes a deflection there, and Tamoyan again ready with his stick. Alabama looks to still have it. Dunphy, great job, physical play to go win that puck back. If only for a moment. He hits the ice. Bama still with it, 20 seconds now. Lopez playing that point roll, fakes a shot. Tamoyan blocks it, doesn't get a hold of it, double save. And a clearance for South Carolina, 10 seconds left. A 5-on-4.
A collision behind the play. It was number 10 for Alabama, Nate Byron, and Aiden Dunphy generated a whistle with 10 seconds left in this Alabama power play.
You couldn't even hear it. You know, Dunnigan was down here just skating with the puck. Wasn't sure exactly what was going to happen.
And the door to the Bama penalty box is open, so I can only assume Byron's going in there.
Mr. Byron, yep, the senior forward. Trying to escape it by heading off to the bench. He will not.
You can't. Hey, you can't outrun the law.
Can't cheat the hangman here at the Plex. You know that's right. 4-on-4 hockey for 10 seconds. Then the Gamecocks will have a power play of their own for a minute 50. JP, just chaos. I feel like each team is just trading penalties and power plays, and the Gamecocks are the only ones to show for it on the scoreboard.
Absolutely. Alabama, the chances have kind of dried up. They had some in the first period when South Carolina was still turning it over in their own zone. They didn't convert then, and now they just haven't had it.
Shuley has it, though. A good opportunity. Tamoyan saved it with his body. Great job, as it's now a 5-on-4 power play for South Carolina.
Whoa.
That one's cleared. Took a weird angle. Hopped all the way to Tamoyan. South Carolina looking to expand their lead. It's Riggins. Nice backhanded pass over to Pushkar. Gets it to Pineda. Tommy Marvin running that point like he usually does. Over to Riggins. A lot of space. Shoots. Saved. Original save. It's a goal, South Carolina. They find another one off the rebound, and it fell right to the right face-off circle. And we'll just give us 1 second with these new jerseys. It's Colin Reed slotting it home. Valor on the back of his jersey tonight. Maybe he did that one for the first responders, JP.
Well, it all starts with Jake Pushkar crossing the blue line with that little nifty spin move to make sure that the puck went over the blue line first before he did. So it wasn't offside. They set up, they get one shot on, they get a follow-up, and then finally they're able to hammer it home off the stick of Colin Reed, who has been a little quiet tonight, no longer.
And, you know, I think Riggins actually stunned Dunnigan. He hit him in the head with that shot. Saved it off the mask, but it just fell perfectly to Reed, who just had an easy tap in there. A really great job to make sure he, got it around the body of Dunnigan. Alabama now trails 4-0. There's 10 seconds left. Shot by Ellis. Tamoyan just punches it in the air. South Carolina's going to clear with a high stick, however. So the period will end. The officials are going to talk. There might be a high stick penalty coming up. Not quite sure. But, JP, that's going to do it for the second period of action. More goals, more fights, more penalties. 4-0 South Carolina lead. I think that sums it up perfectly. We'll save our voices for the third. Again, thanks for hanging out with us. I'm Spencer Ball. He's JP Barry. Again, take yourselves a little break, get a snack, get cozy, and be back with us here in about 15 minutes for the third and final period of play. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to the Plex. I'm Spencer Ball, joined by JP Berry right here on Student Gamecock Television. South Carolina leads 4-0 entering the final period of regulation play. Alabama, they've got to get back in this one. It all starts with one goal, really get some momentum going. Do you think they're able to do it here, JP? How do you think they're able to do it? Because I think they've had some opportunities. How do they convert them?
Well, they've shot it into the chest at Tomoyen a lot. You're not going to burrow a hole through the man and get to the back of the net on the other side. You got to go around, work down and in. You know, you're taking a lot of shots from the point and the slot.
You got a chest of tungsten back there, man.
You got to get down. Another thing, get back to forcing turnovers in South Carolina's zone. That was a big part of their success in the first period where they were really able to put pressure on the Gamecocks.
Riggins has it. He shoots. Gloved by Dunnigan, who's, again, let in 4 goals. But still been really solid tonight.
Yeah, he has made 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 33 saves. So that's 37 shots on goal by my hand count.
Probably pretty accurate, though. I mean,
that's what they're saying.
We definitely at least ballparked that. 19:42 left. So Riggins looks like he was trying to add his name to the goal tally with that one. Alabama is able to win the puck back. Again, trailing by 4. Just want to get something going. You know, you play this team again tomorrow. Well, Karen trying to climb the ladder, make a one-handed catch like a wideout. Didn't knock it down good enough, but just offsides was Enzo Finelli on that far side.
And speaking of the goal scorers, if you're just now joining us in the first period, it was Aiden Dunphy with his 5th of the season with 3:41 to go in the period to put Carolina up 1-0. And then the explosion in the second period all started in the final 10 minutes as it was Jake Pushkar with 9:09 remaining. Pushkar again with 4:55, and then Colin Reed with about 16 seconds left on the power play to make it 4-0 Carolina.
Yeah, and Pushkar has just been absolutely awesome. Riggins looked for the back pass, just mistimed it a little bit, but he's been great tonight, scoring 2 goals. And puck goes into the South Carolina bench there, and luckily everybody seems to be okay. 19:05 with another quick stoppage. And did you touch on our last goal scorer there, JP?
Yeah, Colin Reed had a great follow-up chance off a rebound. He was finally able to put it down. And then what a great possession that was for Carolina. But he was assisted by Tommy Marvin, who has led College Hockey South in assists this year and is continuing to add to it.
23 assists on the season. That's coming into this game. He's just been astounding. Pineda, great cross-ice pass to Scove. He's got Pushkar trailing. Might try and team up for the hat trick here, JP.
Yeah, Dunnigan almost took a fall.
Wouldn't be his first time this season, but Alabama is able to win back the puck. They'll dump it down. Tomoyen punches it up and out of play at the 18:36 mark. Again, I think the one thing that everybody at home, in the arena, in the booth, in both benches, hopes for is a clean period of hockey.
Yeah.
That's one thing we haven't seen. And again, some of it, we've seen, 4 ejections?
Yeah, my goodness.
You know, it gets to a point where it's just doing neither team any good. It's a 4-0 game right now. Let's just play some hockey, because the hockey has been good when we've gotten to see it showcased. Slapper just wide at Tomoyen across his face of goal. DeCola fires it on. Blocked by Pineda. South Carolina's got numbers. Scove shot off the crossbar, I believe. Almost beat Dunnigan over that left shoulder again, but just missed out. Pad save Tomoyen on the rebound. Just escaped the stick of DeCola for his own shot. That one bounced around a little bit. South Carolina will retreat and pick up the puck. Jake Pushkar with it. Backhanded pass. Pineda looks to enter the zone, but unable to. South Carolina with a couple quick subs. Bonsukin does a good job of powering through that one as Alabama tried to take it away. No icing there. It's the Frozen Tide looking to do something with it. They are able to clear, and they have numbers if they can hold on to the puck. Right face-off circle, slowing it down as Mansfield looks for Sextro in the middle. Just couldn't connect. Schwepp has it still for the Tide. Looks like even if that had gone through, they'd mistimed it. But Schwepp wisely did a good job maneuvering that zone, getting in. kind of off the side of the net there, his shot. Is again, still a packed crowd here in Irma. Alabama defense will have to retreat, go back for this puck. South Carolina still applying pressure, and the change kind of sends the tide into a bit of a frenzy. Great pass. It's Winkleblack, right face-off circle. Shot just high of net. I don't know if Dunnigan got anything on that.
I mean, he took the slapper. Winkleblack was like, you know what? I'm not going to limit myself. I'm going to wind this one up and let it rip. And for someone who's played as well as he has today, he's earned it.
You know, a guy, not sure if he's going to find his way onto the score sheet today. Just don't, it's hard to tally assists here, I would say. He's been fantastic in the minutes he's gotten, just skating really hard. You see him all over the place. Really great stuff. South Carolina able to keep it in the zone via Drew Henderson. Garrett Albers behind net. It's over to Josh Wilkins. Albers still with it in South Carolina. Looking to establish a nice possession, but Alabama wins the race to the boards with Fink. Henderson, great job keeping it in again. Good job kind of protecting that blue line. And South Carolina's really good at that, JP.
Yep. They are just really imposing their will here and milking that clock away.
They sure are, as Wilkins has it. Good play from Alabama to kind of force an errant pass, but it doesn't force a turnover. South Carolina's just going to re-enter just like that, locking with it. Albers for another cross-ice pass to Wilkins. Going to be a delayed penalty coming against Alabama. South Carolina's going to pull Tamoyan momentarily. They get it to Henderson. Here comes the sixth skater. Shot over goal by Drew Henderson.
This was really the one thing Alabama really couldn't afford to do, huh, Spencer? They weather the storm early and then immediately they get a breakaway.
We've got players coming together over here. I don't like that.
No, don't do that.
Let's just go to our benches, guys.
And the PA.
And we do.
The DJ is instigating, playing Chief Keef over the loudspeaker in 2025. I love it, but maybe we need the vibes to be a little bit more mellow.
We got to give a big shout out to the DJ tonight.
He's been sick.
I mean, that's just, yeah, that gets the crowd fired up. They're building an even bigger beer tower here, trying to put a crown on it. Riggins, right face-off circle. Great pass. Gamecocks working this power play. Puck out in front of net. 1:45 now left. A 5-on-4 action. The fans are on their feet right in front of the press box here. Riggins has it right face-off circle. Looking to slow down play and set it up. Loses the puck, though, and they'll have to retouch. A little sloppy from South Carolina, but they just need to slow it down. Riggins skates it in. He'll just chip it down for Colin Reed. That's a smart play to give yourself time to set up. It falls to Riggins on this near side boards. Cross-ice pass. Reed's there, back to Riggins. Leaves the puck. 1 minute left on this power play. Marvin with it. Back to Riggins in the center. Shot deflected. And it does leave the zone. An Alabama skater, Schwepp, he's down on the ice from it.
I think he took that one in the
knee maybe.
Yeah.
Marvin's still with it. Riggins, right face-off circle, gets around Dunnigan, but a great deflection.
That was Luis DeCola going on a knee out in front.
Dunnigan able to cover. What a play from DeCola. Riggins completely got around Dunnigan there. He's going for the backhanded shot, but a great stop. It's going to be a complete line change for both teams here. 35 seconds left of a power play, 14-11 left in the final period. And again, these fans are rowdy today, JP.
They are.
It's usually a packed house, but right down in front of us, man, the towers are back. And they showed up ready to have a good time, and I tell you what, they are doing just that.
Well, something tells me they've got stuff that maybe isn't sold here at the Plex.
I don't know what would tell you that. I have no idea what would tell you that, but they're building towers, and it ain't just beer cans, my friends.
No, it is not. And as the officials are still doing something over by the Alabama bench.
They're bringing the athletic trainers over to go check on Schwepp there as he's, I believe, taking a seat. Glad to see he's able to make it to the bench okay. Alabama clears, and, you know, a nice gesture in what has been a very physical game. Got to take care no matter what team the skater is a part of. 20 seconds left of this power play. It's Winkleblack with it. Gets it to Bonsukin at the point. Takes a deflection and cleared. Alabama's had a great kill so far, JP.
Yes, they have. I mean, South Carolina's had a few chances, but Bama's been more than up to the task. And here's Sextro really pestering the puck carrier.
Trying to, and Flaherty skates it in. They'll have another chance just over the outstretched glove of Dunnigan and out of play. A successful kill for Alabama. And at the 13:32 mark, we will see even strength hockey. South Carolina still with a 4-0 lead. JP, 13 and a half left to play. What are you looking for the end of this game? I mean, you know.
Sportsmanship,
Well
a
said.
love for the game.
Yeah.
You know, keeping things between the whistle. You don't need anything to get it. You know, you play this team tomorrow. You don't want to see things get stupid.
I think that's well said. Mansfield shoots over the head of Tomoy, and it'll shot so powerfully it goes all the way into their own zone. Berman in pursuit takes down Byron. Winkleblack with it. Tough pass to Corral, but South Carolina still pestering the puck. Byron's going to get called for a trip there, and yeah, well, it's just nothing after the whistle there. Byron goes back to the box. He's not happy about it. But Winkleblack, again, that hard skating pays off there.
Yeah, he's just been an all-time glue guy in this
Well
game
said.
for
Absolutely.
Carolina. I mean, he's had his mitts all over this one. It's been a great joy to watch, and I hope he gets rewarded.
There's a big fist bump from Sirwa. How about it, Winkleblack? Take a bow, my friend, as the power play unit. And what a unit they are. Riggins, Pushkar, Marvin, Pineda, Reed. I mean, you talk about your five guys versus their four guys in this power play. JP, I'd take our five.
Oh, yeah. I don't think it gets much better than this in College Hockey South. But, you know, this could be the real knockout blow if they're able to generate a power play goal here.
And, you know, this one already certainly has a certain feel to it. But for Alabama, you can't allow any more goals and hope to get in this one. Puck's up against the boards here. 1:40 left. 5-on-4 for South Carolina. It's Marvin with it, top of the key. Back to him here. He surveys his options, gets it to Riggins. Trying to set up a cross-ice pass, I think. Pineda, good job dealing with the pressure. Riggins with it, fakes the slapper. Looking for him back in the middle. It's Marvin. Pass to Riggins. Slaps it on, slaps it in. Riggins with his first goal of the night. And South Carolina extends their lead to 5-0.
And, I mean, Riggins.
South Carolina, Tommy Marvin's doing a little showboating in the face of these Frozen Tide skaters. Don't think this love will be lost by tomorrow, JP. I know you and our good pal Calvin DeLuder on the call for that one. It is going to be one to watch.
Absolutely. That was Riggins' 21st of the season. I mean, just one of the best players we've ever seen. With 12:27 to go, Carolina's second power play goal.
And he leads all of AAU D1 in points with now 39 with that goal. Again, he could have an assist or two on this game, but just waiting to see how that's tallied officially. He has the second most goals with now 21. The first place skater has 22 goals. And he's just been outstanding for this team as the Gamecocks lead.
And what was
now 5-0.
What was really big there was Carolina. They were working it down. You know, they faked the one-timer, work it down, cross-ice pass, beautifully finds Riggins, who was teed up. And, I mean, if you get anyone there, it's going to be Riggins, and he's going to find the one true way.
It is. You know, Tommy Marvin is a true visionary when it comes to power plays. He's excellent at finding the open man. But one thing, JP, is if you overextend, get a little overzealous with your pressure, you know, they kind of, Alabama tried to come out and jump a pass a little too hard. South Carolina, if they deal with it, then they just get right in behind you, and it's almost 5-on-2 at the point of attack. So we've got, you know, the fans are creating, writing their own legend down here in front of us. This flannel
They're playing
man
their own game entirely.
They are. I tell you what, they cheer for goals. They cheer for fights. Most importantly, they cheer for a new can in the tower. Again, of course, we're back to even strength after the power play goal. 5-0, South Carolina in firm control of this one. Alabama looking to get on the scoreboard. South Carolina looking to keep a clean sheet for Mr. DeMoyen. Zink absorbs a hit. Has to take another one from Josh Wilkins. They both served 10-minute penalties together.
Yeah.
You know, another clear all the way down. Alabama races down. Both teams get some fresh skaters on. We're almost at the halfway point through the third with 11:10 left. Shot to Moyen. Deals with that easily. And again, they just haven't tested him too often tonight. They've had one-on-one with Sextro, and they had him on his back one time. But other than that, the Carolina netminders had a relatively easy day in just dealing with shots that aren't going to challenge him that much. Puck goes all the way down to the Alabama zone. They're going to try and clear it. South Carolina jumps the passing lane. That's Carson Scove. Falls to Drew Henderson. Shot fired on. Takes a deflection from Mansfield. Winkleblack spinning shot just wide. Shot gloved. Good save there from Dunnigan. 10:22 left in the third. You know, JP, there's not a ton to say here. I mean, it's been an entertaining game. It's been a long game, so thanks for sticking with us here on SGTV. 10:22 left, 5-0 South Carolina lead.
And
looking to get back in the win column.
Yeah, and I think this is big for Carolina. You know, barring a horrific tragedy, they'll move to 15-6-2 on the season, and they'll go for the sweep tomorrow. But we'll wait. We'll wait the extra 10 minutes here to talk a little bit about that.
Of course, you know, don't count it just yet. Again, the fans dealing with a completely different game here. South Carolina, however, re-enters the zone. It's Drew Henderson absorbing some contact. He almost leaves his feet there. Colin Reed, a great spinning move off the boards. I mean, he played that one to himself with a 360 move. It didn't really do much, but it was cool, JP.
It was rad. I mean,
Enzo Finelli slaps one, doesn't get all of it, but it falls right in front.
that one bounced off the stick of a Bama skater out in front. As tribalism has broken out here at the Plex.
This is one of the rowdiest crowds I think we've ever seen. Fetty Wap fills the air now. This DJ, compared with these fans, keep the vibes high here at the Plex, JP. That's what you got to do. 5-0 South Carolina. They're looking to score goals. The fans are looking to have an even better time, and I don't even know if that's possible. I mean, these guys are just living it up. Still a full house here. Alabama looks to get on the score sheet. And JP, for us, I think we're just hanging out and having a good time, man.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. I mean, it's a game. You got to remember to have fun, and that stretches to everyone involved.
Hey, we never forget.
Yeah.
That's right. Sukin loses his stick, looks for a little extra shove there, is clearly unhappy about being just trounced into the boards. Alabama's still bringing the physicality here as Ellis just rocks Riggins. However, it's Flaherty with it, right face-off circle. Cross-ice pass, gets past Dunnigan. It's another goal for South Carolina. The Gamecocks make it 6. Enzo Finelli gets in the goal tally tonight.
And that was just a great breakout by Flaherty. He had Finelli to his left. He had Reed back. He could have dropped it back for Reed. Instead, chooses to go cross-ice to Finelli. Finelli goes forehand, backhand, gets it right around Dunnigan, and hits it into the back of the net.
That was just an awesome move there from Enzo Finelli. Flaherty, brilliant job waiting out that defender, you know, just had him on a string. And JP, you know, we've seen a lot of this game for Alabama. You got to wonder, are they getting a little too involved in the physicality of it all?
I mean,
they're down here in the South Carolina zone, getting a little too invested in the hits of it. And frankly, you know, South Carolina's up 6-0. I understand the jawing gets to a certain point, but you know, I think they've got a little they've got bigger things on their plate, JP.
Well, they've given up a touchdown,
Just
despite
need
the
the
fact
extra
that
point here.
their goalie is nearing 40 saves.
You got to feel for the guy, man. He's back there all alone, and it's a 2-on-1 after 2-on-1 against South Carolina. You just don't win those as Riggins enters the penalty box. Alabama will have 5-on-4 hockey to try and get in the goal column again. It's Enzo Finelli with the latest goal. Flaherty with the assist. Great teamwork, and now South Carolina goes on the kill. Try and protect their clean sheet here. Pass right across the face of Tomoyan, but doesn't find anybody. Looking for the cross ice of their own, and that'll leave the zone. Fink will have to touch up. Wilkins gets involved. He loses his stick. It's getting kicked around, so it's a, oh God, it's a 4-on-1 here. Somehow Marvin just throws his body at it and wins. Alabama soils another great attempt, JP.
I mean, can you encapsulate the feel of a game in one play more than that?
Couldn't have said it better. Lopez, slap shot goes well wide of goal. I mean, they look defeated out there. They're going to try and work it back forward. It's played all the way around. Kramer's going to get to it under a minute now left on the power play. Riccitelli in pursuit does a good job of kind of boxing out Kramer on the boards. Pass in front to Zent. South Carolina bringing the physicality. Kramer touches the ice. Riccitelli in pursuit. Lopez with it now. Shot. Save Tomoyan. 37 seconds left of this Alabama power play. And, JP, I was almost shocked, you know. I mean, South Carolina skater, it was Wilkins, was just looking for his stick. They had 5-on-2. Two skaters got into it. It was a 4-on-1. Tommy Marvin just dives in front of the puck like a hero. And
like Captain America diving on the grenade.
Yeah, and Alabama couldn't do anything with it. They didn't slow down play and look for a pass back. It's just, it's not been their night, but really, I think they started this game really well.
They did. They just couldn't, nothing could materialize. By the time South Carolina got the war machine rolling, they just weren't prepared. I want to shout out, you know, Enzo Finelli, the most recent goal scorer for Carolina, a guy who season hasn't been great on terms of the production side of things, but him getting a goal like that is really nice to see.
Yeah, and he's so supremely talented, and we clearly know that. So it's great to see him get one. It's Tomoyan pad save. Makes another. That one's right in front of goal. See what the call is. Mulcairn getting into it. We've got more. There's more punch in here right in front of the officials. Mulcairn goes down with a Georgia skater. Zent knocks someone down. Zent going back at it with another South Carolina skater. It's Mulcairn. He's in it with Shuley. And the DJ plays fiend. JP, at this point, you've got 6 minutes left. Do you just send everybody out that's fighting and just play 5-on-5, 4-on-4 maybe?
You know what? Let's play 2-on-2. Why not? Let's have fun.
But it's, you know, we're going to have another conversation. It's more math, more time we don't get away from hockey, more time that the fans get to keep partying here at the Plex.
Everyone's on their feet right now. But this has been
we might be watching the birth of a relationship down here between two of the drunkest people we've ever seen at the Plex. I mean, a kiss chant has broken out here at the Plex.
What is happening?
This is absurdity. One of the weirdest games we've ever seen, and just a good friend has stepped in here, JP. As the officials are going to have their chats, and
I think that's a parental unit.
I'm not even sure. We're just left scratching our head, man. It has been a doozy, to say the least. 6:56 left in the final period of regulation play, and likely the final period of play barring. JP, what kind of miracle would this be, a 6-goal comeback here in 6 minutes?
It would be akin to 28-3 if that happened after the 2-minute warning, I think.
think you're absolutely right. I mean, swag surfing comes out. JP, this game has been, it's all over the place, a good way to say it.
A fever dream.
An
episode of the Twilight Zone.
Yeah, I mean, again, we want to shout out everybody at home listening to us. Thank you again for your support. Thanks to our great tech crew. I know it's, JP, it's not easy working this late into the night, especially, having to figure out all the math going on with the power plays. And you know what? Maybe, just maybe, we'll get a clean 6.5 minutes of hockey the rest of the way. Probably not. These two teams seemingly don't like each other, JP. We didn't know the last time these two teams have played because, again, this is the ACHA version of the Frozen Tide, not the AAU Division I Frozen Tide, which South Carolina also got the better of last semester. So it looks like both Pushkar and Lopez are going to go deliver the news to their teams along with an official. South Carolina's been delivered a 2-minute power play on top of the 8 seconds they already have. I think it's going to be Riggins coming out here in just a minute. Alabama should have 2 minutes added on in just a second. They've got someone in the box as well. What a night, man.
I just still can't get over some of the things we've seen. The smell of I just got a whiff.
Oh, yeah.
It's like I just went to the doctor's office.
Yeah.
I mean,
be safe driving home. You might have to wear a mask leaving out of here. Otherwise,
I feel like
BAC goes
I
up.
feel like we're getting like a contact,
Yeah, I mean, you know what? The fans are having a good time out here. We're having a good time up here. And finally, JP, we will return to hockey. It's
It's going to be 3-on-3 again. Well, maybe not actually.
I think
it might be a 5-on-3 for Alabama.
That wouldn't be so good.
Their other two skaters were still on the bench. Actually, now it's just 4.
So it's 4-on-3 for 8 seconds, I believe. Right?
Oh, yeah, sure, man.
Yeah. I think John Riggins. Oh.
No, 5-on-3. I was going to say, that wouldn't make any sense.
Well, I wouldn't think so either, but, Sextro was trying to sneak on the ice here. South Carolina looks to be tripped after they win the faceoff. Sextro has it behind net. Looks like South Carolina will have another skater coming on right now. It's John Riggins in pursuit. Lopez, quick on his feet, did a good job recognizing the time was up. Sextro with it now in neutral ice. They're going to chip it down. 1:40 left of this Alabama power play. 6-0 South Carolina leads this one in the third with 6 minutes, 22 seconds left now. Scove forces the pressure. South Carolina, a great pass back to Scove. Unable to control it, though. It was a little hard there from Dunphy. 2-on-1 here for Alabama. Shot wide of Tamoyan. They just haven't been able to get it past him. Fink with it in neutral ice. Dunphy bites on the cutback, but luckily for him, nothing could materialize. Alabama's going to take it back. They lose the puck. And when they re-enter, or even when they get to neutral ice, 1 minute left of the power play. So they take it forward. That's Luke Richards with it. Cutback, Ellis, pad save. Tomoyan. Long clear, goes all the way down to Dunnigan. He plays it off the wall. Zent with it now. 40 seconds left on this power play. South Carolina with some fresh skaters. Von Sukin, one of them in pursuit. Passes him off to Flaherty. Looks for the centering pass. Nothing going. Flaherty and Riggins. Flaherty took something to maybe the midsection. Riggins goes down. It is going to be a penalty on Richards, I believe.
And guess what?
Fighting.
Another fight.
Von Sukin, Richards. And that's a nice play there.
From, I think, Tommy Locken diffusing the situation.
Yeah, somebody grabbed Richards and made sure nobody threw more punches. We've got Flaherty.
And I believe that is
DeCola.
Yep.
They're jawing. Whoever that was, you might be right that was Locken, but I think it was Scove. It's 18. That's Carson Scove. Really a great job of diffusing more fights. I mean, JP, it gets to a point where it becomes a lot.
Let's shut the game down. You know?
No, I mean, you got to tell the coaches, like, hey, this has got to stop because, JP, let's pull out our clocks here. It's been almost 3 hours, and if you look at the hockey, I mean.
It's been fast and free-flowing, man.
It sure has. The hockey has been great. And a little physicality here and there. I don't think we have a problem with that. But is it safe to say this one's gotten out of hand?
Yes, without a shadow of a doubt. I mean, did you think we were going to get out of here without another fight? I didn't.
I didn't think so either, but, I mean, one can dream that something would get done because really, at some point, like, thankfully, it hasn't gotten dangerous, you know?
That is true. I mean, it's mostly just been petty squabbles, but.
But again, like, you know, the more you allow it to happen, the more you're getting, you know, you toe the line of letting it become something. And, JP, I don't think we have a penalty tracker here, but.
It's been a lot.
Oh, my goodness. There's probably been a combined, like, hour of penalty minutes given out. And that's crazy. And right now, it looks like it's going to be 4-on-4 hockey.
Yes.
4-on-4 for the next 23 seconds, and then South Carolina will get a new skater. So they're probably going to kill off as much time as they can here. That they will. They get it forward to Sko. Flaherty's on the ice along with Bonsukin and Locken. Sko with it, right face-off circle, shot.
Whistle.
Block tie. They go off sides there.
I think they got a penalty to South Carolina.
Is that Bonsukin heading to the box? I think it is.
I think it might have been a slash or a cross-checking.
I couldn't quite make out the signal there from the corner official. It will be mostly offsetting penalties. There's going to be a 17-second difference after the original power play. Knocks off JP. It's a weird one. This has just been a weird game. Again, thanks for joining us. I'm Spencer Ball. He's JP Barry. You know one thing we should do? Shout out first responders. It is first responder night. We did that at the start of this game. It feels like a year ago because it's just been a really, really long game. It's had its slow moments. But, again, shout out to all the first responders at home, first responders in the building. Just big credit to everyone there. Again, all of the Cock Hockey jerseys from tonight that say honor, valor, sacrifice, courage on the backs of them will be available in an auction giveaway after the game sometime. Check out social media, Cock Hockey, for all your needs there. It's going to not be an icing call, but again, as much as sometimes it's a little hard to see the players' names, JP, I think that the jerseys are pretty sweet.
They're definitely one of the cooler alternates I've seen at the college level. The details are really nice. I love the American flag on the right shoulder and the kind of military star on the left.
In the gray color, I like what they got going on here. As South Carolina forces a turnover, it's Locken. He's got Marvin, who looks to be tripped in the center. No call there. Marvin will just take a dive. Locken with it. Races forward. He scores! Gets it past Dunnigan, and the extra point is good. It's 7-0. Tommy Locken.
I mean, he just worked it down. You know, at another opportunity for Dunnigan, and he bit, and Locken was just able to collide to his left and hammer it home.
Absolute laser beam. I mean, Locken is one of the quickest skaters on this team, so when he got moving towards Dunnigan, worked it to his left hand, just got it past him, rifled it past him. In fact, the rifle was his mode of celebration. He turned the stick into one, fired it into the crowd. South Carolina leads 7-0. That's what you'd say after a first drive in football. This has been almost 3 periods of hockey.
Yeah.
The goals have been free-flowing since the first period. We've got 4-on-4
almost as much
here.
As the beer.
Almost. Yeah. It's been pretty close, JP, but safe to say the fans are enjoying themselves as the puck goes near to Moyen, but no danger just yet. 4-on-4 for the next 35 seconds. Then Alabama will have about a 17-second gap with an extra skater on. South Carolina might have a bit of a break, though. Cross-ice pass to Pineda. He just whiffs on it a little bit in the right face-off circle. Alabama moves. Great work there from Riccitelli, I believe, to poke that one free. He has it now. Play it off the boards. Alabama has numbers right in front of goal, and Byron completely whiffs on it. Tomoyan goes off the pad, off the stick, deflected before he gets to him. 5 seconds left. A 4-on-4. Slapped forward. South Carolina is going to go on the offensive here. Marvin, right face-off circle. Pass back. Great save by Dunnigan, excuse me. I messed up his name again, man. It's tough, JP. They have an extra skater, but for about 3 seconds. Josh Wilkins works it on. It's going to go back to 5-on-5 at the 2:50 mark here in the third period. Alabama, again, just looking for a goal to write home about. Richards has it, left face-off circle. Shot, can't squeak it by Tomoyan. Double save, and he'll cover up. And, you know, he's just working smooth and calm back there.
Yeah, and it's been, I mean, just smooth sailing for him. A couple of big chances for Alabama, but other than that, you know, he's been unchallenged, and he's sent away everything that's come his way. He's pitching a shutout here with 2:39 to go. Don't want to jinx that, of course, but.
You almost did there. Sextro had a really great pass, just nobody on the other end of it. But yeah, Tomoyan has clearly been really great today. I think Dunnigan has been great today. Again, you know, he's bit on a couple of those chances. But when you look at the sheer amount of shots he's faced tonight and on the season, sometimes his defense has certainly left him out to dry, JP.
Yeah, that's a nice way of putting it. It's been brutal for him.
Yeah.
And, you know, he himself, he's gotten bit a little bit on these just I mean, he has to sell out to stop one. He can't stop. There's
the 2-on-1s are almost, excuse me, I hit my mic there. They're really almost unguardable. I mean, it's really hard, especially when his defense isn't back there giving him much help. DeCola fires. Tomoyan, another fight. Connor, punches thrown.
Someone just threw something onto the ice.
Yeah, I mean, it's a one-on-one here.
Someone from the crowd just threw
a shooter onto the ice. I mean,
I don't think you can do that.
No, certainly not. As that'll get picked up and launched back out. It's Drew Henderson involved with Garrett Connor. I mean, at what point do you even just bother sending him to the benches? Just
no
send
longer.
him to the locker room, man. I mean, you know, I've already said that it's going to be JP and Calvin on the call tomorrow. And if the game is anything like this, JP, good luck, my friend. Because it's been a fun one.
Drink a lot of water.
But it's gotten a little out of control. You know, a little's a delicate way of putting that. I mean, you're just letting guys just beat each other here. It's just fight after fight after fight. At some point, got to have some consequences. Yeah, there goes Drew Henderson. He's going to hit the showers. A lot of fans here still at the Plex giving him a big applause. It's going to be Garrett Connor hitting the showers for the Frozen Tide. 5-minute majors. I think that's just going to ensure that it's 4-on-4 the rest of the way, JP.
Yes, indeed.
Everybody, the guilty parties have left the ice. Shouldn't be too much discussion here. I think that was a pretty straightforward decision there from the officials, and the right one. Alabama has 4 skaters on. I'll give you who they are now. Sluy DeCola, Luke Ellis, Chris Molapa, and Baz Shuley. For your Gamecocks, it's Aiden Dunphy. It is Brandon Flaherty, Jake Pushkar, and Enzo Finelli. So again, the players getting the crowd into it. South Carolina wins the faceoff. 1:50 left in the third period. Is there another penalty here?
I do. We have some sort of stoppage.
And it's going to be on Luke Ellis for Alabama. And you can see it clear as day. I mean, he's getting right up in Flaherty's grill. JP, you're down 7-0. You're under 2 minutes to play. Do you want South Carolina to score an 8th? Why are you getting in their face and just getting physical? It makes no sense. I mean, he's had another boneheaded penalty. I guess it's going to be offsetting. Aiden Dunphy went to the box. I don't even think he was on the ice. Was he?
I've lost the plot at this point, Spencer.
I think the officials have. The skaters certainly have. I mean, it's.
Can we just cancel tomorrow's game? These two teams don't like.
I tell you what.
They're a danger to each other.
No, you could put a full boxing card together and just settle it that way. That's what it's been on skates, and I tell you what, it's a lot easier to not swing on ice if that's really what you want to do.
Let's just do shootout all day tomorrow. That'd be fun, right?
I'll tune in from home. I'll let you know.
Yeah, I know.
South Carolina controls the faceoff 145, so seemingly the rest of the way will likely be 3-on-3. Flaherty's just going to control it. And, slow the game down. Try and kill the clock here. Alabama's just going to let the puck die behind the net. DeCola's in pursuit, but it seems like the skaters who haven't lost their temper, JP, are a little done with this one. But Jake Pushkar enters the zone. Works in that left face-off circle, maybe looking for his hat trick here.
Several Gamecocks are, if we look at this, with Pushkar.
I think it's just him, right?
Actually, yeah, I thought Tommy Lockett had scored earlier. He assisted on one. It's my bad, folks. So many people. There's been so many goals.
And South Carolina is kill the puck, and the beer tower falls, and it's a fitting way for us to enter the last 45 seconds of play. Back to Flaherty, the 1-2. Almost creeped in. I believe it went off that left post. Goes all the way back to Enzo Finelli. 35 seconds here. He's not going to quite kill the puck like Flaherty will. And there's the man I just named. Flaherty enters the zone. He'll shoot one. Saved by Dunnigan. 23.9 left in this one. Yet another stoppage of time. Alabama will make a couple subs. South Carolina will not quite do the same. Serwaz waving them on. Albers looked like he was going to come on, but they're going to stick with their final three here for the last 25 seconds here to just run out this clock. Alabama has it left, and it's going to be Fink. Skating it in. Behind him, he's got Byron. Saved by Tamoyan. Sextro with it. Centering pass goes well wide. Finelli just baiting Fink the last seconds. Take off here. 1 second shot. Saved by Tamoyan. And he protects his clean sheet. The Gamecocks put up a touchdown today.
And Peter Papadopoulos is letting it be known to
it looked like he was about to raise the stick there at him. I was like, oh, Peter, please, don't start a brawl after the match here. He's waving him off. I mean, Peter might be in goal tomorrow. We'll see exactly what happens.
Or it could be Hayes.
I tell you what, JP, you're going to see more of this tomorrow.
Enzo Finelli just flipped someone off.
I mean, someone just shoulder check. Schwepp got in the face of somebody on the way out. Richards, I don't know if he's in the handshake line or if he's about to throw a punch. I mean, you just never know.
This has been the weirdest game I have ever been a part of. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, Spencer. What I do know is that it was a great performance by South Carolina. They get back to their winning ways, and we'll be right back for a little bit of a wrap-up show here from the attic before we send you on to your merry nights.
That's right. We won't keep you too long, but we'll leave you something with a quick little post-game show. Again, thanks for sticking with us, and we'll be right back so you can see our pretty faces. welcome back to the Plex. Now the camera's back on us and away from what was 12 rounds with the champ. And South Carolina came away victorious here in Game 1 of the two-game series against the ACHA Frozen Tide. It was a 7-0 victory with a plethora of goal scorers. JP, what do you make of this first game of this series? It's you've got.
Well, hang on. I have a million billion goals from South Carolina. What I take away from this is what a response by the team. You lose 2 on the road to a hated rival Georgia. Start off tonight slow, turning the puck over in your own end. Tyler Tamoyan picks you up, makes timely saves. You in the first period with a nice goal from Aiden Dunphy, someone who typically doesn't get to the scoring sheet very much. And that left the door open for your stars like Jake Pushkar, John Riggins, Colin Reed, to really just kind of take the game over. That's what they did. That's what you want your team to do after a tough weekend.
And it was a really great team performance, as you mentioned. I mean, just a handful of different goal scorers. The defense really got it done today. And it's good to get back in the win column. Again, they're going to be facing off against the Frozen Tide tomorrow at 3, so you don't want to miss that. My good friend JP, as well as Calvin's going to be on the call, so stick around for that. Again, JP, the rest of the way, before tournament time, you've got a bunch of conference opponents. You go on the road to Florida. You've got Georgia back home here, and then you've got senior night against Clemson. What does it mean to be in good form heading towards the end of that schedule and playoff time? And what's it going to take for the Gamecocks to stay in the win column?
Well, I mean, it's going to be a lot like tonight, maybe without, like you said, 12 rounds with the champ. But, you just got to play your game, knock the other team out of their comfort zone. And it's going to be about starting the game faster. Eliminating the early sloppiness with the puck and just really kind of relaxing, having fun. They had fun tonight. They're going to look to have some more fun tomorrow and in the season going forward.
Yeah, I think the team is definitely at their best when they are having fun. Again, tune in at 3 p.m. tomorrow. We're going to give a quick shout-out, first off, to all of you at home. Thank you for tuning in to this just absolute barn burner in every sense of the meaning. I mean, you had about as many players ejected as goals scored. But we'd like to thank, of course, our amazing tech crew, the man behind the camera right now, Doug Andreuzzi, Reece Nolting, Mary Des Parker, and Caroline Smith. Again, thanks to them. That's going to do it for us here, folks. Again, South Carolina wins 7-0. Tune in for Game 2 of the series against the Frozen Tide tomorrow at 3. He's been JP Barry. I've been Spencer Ball. Again, thanks all for tuning in, and have a good night, Carolina.